I need to turn this up a little bit. Hello, folks. Welcome to this any percent tournament. First one since April 2021. It's going to be exciting. Let me make sure we're all good here. Every single time I change scene, it's going to be like crazy. But hopefully I should have all the racers up. Looks like it's everybody but one person is here, which is good. Make sure he's there. Yeah, it really does look like we have almost everybody here and ready. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Oh, it looks like it's ready. Nope, that's somebody else. Missed it. You guys ever play Spelunky? What a great game that is. Just kidding, I don't care for it, but... Actually, I'm not kidding. I just don't care for it, you know? Thanks for the GL Deuterino. But so by the way, folks, for those that don't know how this tournament's going to go, what's a battle royale style, we are going to have 15 or 16. Right now it looks like 15 racers enter in. They're going to do an any percent, and then we're going to... they're all going to do an any percent race. The top runners move on, and the bottom two get eliminated. It might just be a bottom one here if we don't get the final racer in here and ready. But what it'll be is 6 rounds total. First round, we are actually, there's one other person. Give me 1 second. First round, we're going to have 15 racers, 16 racers. Then the second round, after 2 get eliminated, 14 go. 2 get eliminated, 12 go. And then after that, it's going to be 4 eliminated in the quarterfinals. Bring to a semifinals with 4. 2 get eliminated there before a last and final race. Hello, Fims. Hello, Tej. Hello, everybody. Everybody's doing well. What's up, Pepsi? There's one other person that's not in this. I need to do... roll call, basically. Yeah, everybody but Jay. I'm just going to make my stream adjustments now, assuming that no JBug, and we're going to have somebody shown twice on a stream. Congrats, Killing Pepsi, for being shown on 2 separate places. All right, we're about to start. I just need to restart one thing really quick and then we'll get going. All right, we're gonna get started. Oh, I just need Zytho to ready up. Zytho's ready, perfect. So I'm gonna get out of the race and should be starting in about 15 seconds. So, all right, here we go. Yeah, good luck to everybody. So we have 15 races here. We're going to show as they're about to get started. We have Vorpal, Pepsi, Warmham, Dr. Zytho. We got Galaxy. We got Saxu, Scal, and Chris. Let's transition over. It looks like I have a pretty good stream delay on some of these. But we also have Jessu, Shadax, Killing Pepsi, Naughty, Slania, Goobs, Squeeze, and Diamond Miner. Let's head over to this first stream. We have Vorpal, longtime runner of the game. Seems like over a decade, probably over a decade. He is less than a second off of the world record. One of 2 people with a 17 2x, has a 1727. Has not really been super active, life responsibilities and all that. But whenever you see Vorpal D-Rust, it takes like, I don't know, half of a day, 2 runs, and then he's back at it. So we will see what happens. We still have Killing Pepsi. Killing Pepsi, been running the game, 6 or 7 years. Also known for running a lot of other indie games. Action Hank just was in GDQ running N++. Did that co-op with Xando Toaster. Was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that run, I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. We have Warmham, another sub 18 runner. Has basically the highest time you can have and still be sub 18 with a 1759. Still a really good time. He does not use he has default bindings, so a lot of these runners will be using dual jump, essentially 2 jump buttons that lets you jump faster off of walls and not lose as much vertical height as you're jumping. But Wormham's not doing that never has done that, and so that has not held him back really at all. It doesn't seem like. So it'll be exciting there. There in the middle left, we have Dr. Zytho, and he's a very exciting runner coming into this. Just got a 1747, has one of the lower sum of bests that you'll see in the community. Zytho was somebody who for a while was doing a bunch of ILs and just posting really good times, but it wasn't sure what his end goal was, if he just was doing that, and then went back to any percent somewhat recently and popped off with a 1747, just an insane time. The thing that's holding him back from an even better time just seems to be consistency. So we'll see. We could see some 17s in the race from Zytho. I would not be surprised. It doesn't really hold back from doing anything. In the middle, we have Galaxy. One of the things that whenever I think of Galaxy is that they always, no matter what, will just finish a race. I don't think I've ever seen her reset a run in my entire life. She's always just, it doesn't matter. 10 seconds lost in Forest. Obviously, this is a race, so nobody is resetting, but in a race setting, you could imagine that constant no reset mentality is very helpful, because it's just ingrained in you that you are always going for whatever strat you're going for. You're not trying to do something else. Although I don't even know the mentality, to be honest, because I love resetting maybe more than I like speedrunning. Have Saxu there. Saxu's been running for a while. Let me check the leaderboards on Saxu. I believe Saxu is... Let's see. Yes, a 1942. Sub 20. I just was not sure if it was sub 20 or not. But yeah, Saxu, great runner. And really, as we get here early on, we're actually seeing a really tight race from these people. Pepsi seemingly ahead through all of these. That's very exciting. Awesome to see. Again, there's a stream delay, so I don't know, but Pepsi is killing it right now. Yeah, Saxu is incredibly consistent. One of those runners that's not going to go for super high level strats, but is going to get the strats all the time. Well, I say that as Saxu Mrs. Chad Skip. At the bottom, we have Scal here, a French runner. We have a lot of French runners. I mean, this is Super Meat Boy. Of course, we have a lot of French runners. So Scal been running this game for like 3 years now. Scal is somebody who, from the school of Crew Crux, is just going to go for those high-level strats. Is it more than 3 years, Fims? I'm seeing... Crew Crux told me 2020. You've never heard of this person in your life? Well, let me tell you, Fims. You got something to learn. Are we just getting Vorpal's audio? Yes. I'll try to fix that. I had something that was up there and then it didn't work. But yeah, we're getting Vorpal's audio. Thanks for pointing that out. Audio is going to be top left. And then, so bottom middle, we have Chris. Chris has ran pretty much every single character percent category in this game. So who knows, maybe any percent's actually a little bit weird because you're not using different characters on this. But very consistent runner. Very good all-around player in this game. Does have a sub 20, 1935, very good. At one point, I think Chris had like 8 or 9 of those character percent. Pepsi is still just trending ahead of Warple right now and ahead of Zytho. Again, I have some stream delay that I can't know what it is, but still, it's interesting to see. Let's see how the other runners are doing right now. Oh, it looks like Jasudical's audio is a bit broken on this one. Let's get it to Shadex. Jesu, a runner of this game for a few years, sort of a mid-20s PB level racer. Just going to do whatever strats he thinks is the most consistent for him. De-rusted for this one, so not super high expectations, but I know that he is looking to get out of the first round for sure. Since we only have one elimination this round, it is, it'll be interesting to see who it's going to be. Jasudical definitely, just because of, just de-rusting, might be on that chopping block there. See, he takes a death, but, we don't know. Then we have Shadex, very long time runner this game. Mid-19 PB. It seems like Shadex at this point, I started running this game in 2018, has not really consistently ran the game. There was a point in 2020 when I think that Shadex might have gotten like a 106 or a Dark Ending PB, but has mostly just came for events and tournaments. Yeah, there's nothing I can do with, well, I guess there is. Let's see. Just put him at a low resolution. Already talked about killing Pepsi. Next to that, we have Naughty. So he was in the last tournament a couple of years ago. And so he has not been running all too much recently. So there's a good amount of rust here. But we don't know what we're going to see here. We can see him pop off with a PB. We can see, some inconsistency. We don't know. It seems to be roughly on pace here with all the other runners sort of early on in hell right now. So not necessarily the fastest right now, but doing a fairly good job. In the center there, we have Slania, sort of one of the more unknown on this one. I know here. Give me one. Or actually, let's go to Goobs really quick. Goobs, I knew before. Really, is a very recent Meat Boy runner, and I had known Goobs as being a super monkey ball runner. So 2 times the SMB. But he learned fast. He's already got a mid 21 any percent time, which is a pretty respectable time. Especially for not running the game all too much, or all too long, I should say. Seems like a really quick learner. It'll be interesting to see how Goobs will do in this tournament. At the bottom, we have Squeeze, British runner. One interesting thing about, I think, Super Meat Boy, not many runners from the UK, almost at all. But we got Squeeze there, holding it down for that. Has a mid-18 time. And Squeeze could easily, in the very near future, get probably like a low... I could see a low 18. It's just a matter of getting some of these strats. We see Slaney in the middle going for 4-2 is an interesting choice. It's honestly not a bad one. It is slower, but not honestly by that much. Normally runners in hell, they'll be doing 4-1, then skipping 4-2, then going 4-3 through 4-17, skipping 18 and doing 19. That's faster by about a second. But if you're not super consistent on one of the levels and you just want to do 4-2, let's say you don't want to do 4-19, that's a more than reasonable strat to do. Oh, he does sprint with X, huh? Yeah, I squeeze. That's why he doesn't have, you know, he could have a 17 right now. He could be 7. He could have world record. It just needs to change his sprint to a shoulder button. You know what I mean? Put that on ZL or whatever they're called on, you know, R2 or whatever. Just change that. Then we have Diamond Miner. I think Diamond Miner is somebody who I don't know if they've ever been active. The entire time I've played the game, they were been in the community though for it's at least 2017. Solid runner in that mid 20s. Actually, let me check this really quick. Yeah, that mid 20s, a 2047 that just got the other day. So who knows what we'll see with Diamond Miner. Not even see a sub 20 will be really exciting to see. So as we see these runners, it looks like Killing Pepsi is really killing it. Pepsi just got a PB the other day. Ooh, some bad luck though. You don't want to see that. Just unfortunate setup there with some RNG. But yeah, Pepsi is killing it right now. The next round, I'll make sure to have a timer up. I had a malfunction with it, so I just needed like 10 minutes to start it, but I didn't want it to have an issue. But they're at about the 14-minute mark on this one right now. Is this the run, Pepsi? Because they're so true. Let's see how our other runners are doing here. It looks like Pepsi finally running into some trouble. Wormham doing 5.8, which is a great route. There's really two routes for did he juggle Nowdy? I missed it. I don't know. The 419 juggle is very important. Yeah, Pepsi and Vorpal right now, sort of neck and neck. I anticipate Vorpal's going to get ahead, but I mean at the same time, it's been like this since for a while. Just Pepsi and Vorpal head to head. Zytho right now going into Larry. Let's see how Zytho does on there. Oh no, got the setup to get a potential 2 cycle and then didn't work, and then so here only 1 jumps. A little bit of an unfortunate timing. Vorpal going in next. Let's see how it works out for Vorpal. Gets 1, gets 2. Okay, so let's see. Unlucky there. Pepsi heading in. Galaxy heading in. Oh, Galaxy's got the setup for it. Okay, Pepsi's just done. As Vorpal and Zytho just a little bit ahead. Is that a 2 cycle from Pepsi? Did I looked away for like a half second. Galaxy, maybe notoriously, maybe it was just a couple events, but got at the time I think 3 cycles were just really like 4 cycles or below. Is Pepsi on PB pace? I'm not sure, but it seems probable. We're in the 16-minute range for that, so would have to be a low 3. It's possible. I don't know. I don't think so, but it's possible. Definitely not far away from PB. Saxu heading in to Larry. Scal just about to be there. Let's see. I don't think Saxu set up for the 2 cycle, which is fine. So just so we're squeeze on the other screen so we're not able to see is also on. I apologize that my audio setup, it's supposed to, whenever I change things, go to a different audio, but we've had the wrong audio for like 5 minutes. Unprofessional. I'm just setting this up on my own, so I don't feel too bad, but yeah, my setup on things was working well on Wednesday and then not as well today. But anyways, Vorpal and ooh, so Vorpal looks like to take a slight lead over Zytho. Vorpal there with that death-defying setup. That saves like a half second wherever my eyes are looking. That's true. That would be sick though. Yeah, that is such a difficult setup that Vorpal's trying to do. So Pepsi takes the lead. Galaxy here could go above them. Doing a normal setup. Oh, does not get a key skip. We're having a lot of trouble with key skip right now. Okay, we see Vorpal heads in there. Pepsi already in. Warm Ham in the end. Honestly, I am unsure of who's going to take this. It looks like it's going to be Pepsi's race. Squeeze is also when we go to the other one. Let's transition really quick. Well, actually, no. Let's watch the end of Pepsi here. Well, actually, no. We can do that right here. Let's transition over. Pepsi about to finish. It looks like pretty much all of our other runners. We have Squeeze there, Goobs, and Nowdy just finishing up. Oh, and Goobs just finishing up Larry. Oh no, Pepsi takes a death. This is not good. Squeeze waiting. Let's go back over here. Let's see, we have Vorpal. Oh. Finishing up. Oh, Pepsi takes the win. It looks like Zytho right behind Galaxy, right behind Zytho. Saxu and Scout. Well, Saxu about a minute and a half away. 19:15 from Pepsi. That is just a bit off of a PB. Vorpal there with the finish. So right now, let's get a little bit of a recap as we have some finished races. We have a 19:15 from Pepsi, a 19:27 from Zytho, a 19:30 from Vorpal, a 19:30 from Squeeze, a 19:32 from Galaxy. Man, that is exciting. It was a 19:12. Gotcha. Nice. That's awesome. That is great. Pepsi with a fantastic race. That was really, really good by Pepsi. It seemed like until Rapture. 1923 from Zytho, it seems. So Saxu and Warm Ham. Who can finish this mini race here? Will Warm Ham slip up and Saxu take a lead on this one? Doesn't look like it. Warm Ham goes in there. That's a little bit sketchy. A little bit behind. So it looks like roughly the same time. Let's see how it is in racetime.gg. Scal going into final boss. Let's see. It says Saxu by a second over this. So reminder, on this race, we are only having one elimination. So all of those top 6 runners that you see on the screen, they're going to move on. Scal will likely be moving on. Chris right now is actually... Oh, I have an issue on one of my screens. It's double showing Chris instead of... Oh, actually, I can fix this. But Diamond Miner actually is going into Escape. Hospital so bad? No, it was great. Good job, Saxu. This first race really, I think for most people, is just going to be setting it up and having that work well. So Diamond Miner finishes up. Diamond Miner with a... oh, I don't see... Oh, with a 21.42. Scal finishing up with a 22 flat. Let's swap over really quick. So Are we going to see? It really looks like Jesu having some potential upload problems, perhaps. That says Diamond Miner, but it's actually Chris, unfortunately. Oh, whoops. My apologies. I was using studio mode in the back. Your game crashed? Oof. Sorry to hear that. So we have Slania and Jasutical both on 6-2. Goobs is finishing up right now. Chris is finishing up. So really this is a Jesu versus Slania race right now. Both on 6-3. Some uploading issues, it seems like, with Jesu, but that is what it is. Nice Windows sound. We have everybody finished right now, but Slania and Jasutical. Who are we going to get? Who's going to get eliminated right now? Only one elimination this round. We wanted to make sure that there wasn't much elimination early on. That way, you know, people going in there who might be rusty. Hasn't been a ton of activity in this game recently. But let's see. It looks like Slania has this, but the thing about... who knows? Let's try to update this. Also, let's update the audio. I keep forgetting that the audio is not really working. Oh, no. All right, we're getting audio from Slania. Finishing it up here. Who knows what's happening with just... There we go. Okay, Jasutical finishing up key skip or something? Who knows what's happening? I certainly have no idea. I don't know. Who knows? Uh-oh, a death by... it looks like Jasutical is presumably finishing up and going into... going into Dr. Fetus, but who knows? Let's try to update this stream. It looks like into Dr. Fetus. I'm going to try to ask if Jasutical moves on to... And it looks like if any of the runners are listening on this one, it does seem like perhaps the live split thing is crashing the games. So if you're worried about your game crashing, I would just do it manually through a browser. Like pull up your phone if you don't have a screen. Jasutical with a death? Oh my goodness. I wish that it was not a PowerPoint by Jasutical. You know what I mean? No, it's a death by Slania. No! What's happening? No. Okay. Okay. What do we have? What's going to happen? Who knows? They're both at the same spot. No! Slania. Oh my goodness. It is neck and neck, folks. It looks like Jasutical took a death. Who knows what's happening? Oh my gosh, no, no, they both took a death. This is This is crazy. You just... Oh my gosh. Okay, Jasudical with a slight lead. And a death. You have to imagine the runners, especially if they have like the stream audio open or something and are listening and or know what's happening. You have to think that they're nervous as they are literally at the same point of the game. Sort of, okay. So it looks like Jasudical's deciding, let's not go over the top because I'm messing that up. And that might actually be a big deal because that's like 5 or 6 seconds that you lose by doing that. I'm at the lowest quality that I can do for streaming at. Yeah, you're right. If Jasudical moves on, definitely going to be requesting that. But it looks like Slania might take this. They both get to the button at roughly the same time. Who knows? There's question marks in the air. Wait, what happened to Jasudical? I looked away. What happened? What happened? That is unlucky, to say the least. That is incredibly unlucky. Oh my goodness. Did the stream stop as that was happening? Oh my goodness. So you're supposed to have invincibility on the button, but it does not look like Jasudical had that. Something happened. Yeah, the Twitch lag. I mean, it is known that if you have lag in your game, that it does it. It appears as though, I mean, we can't confirm it right now. Slania right at the final part of this. Finishing it up. GG. It looks like Jasudical will be the one eliminated. And Jasudical's going to finish up the race for himself as we are going to look at the results. Let's go and take a look. Let's make the results a tiny bit bigger. Where? Lag. I mean, it is known that if you have lag in your game, that it does it. I see. Slania pulled up the audio. Well, I'm doing a Discord interview. Just if Jasudical wants to, it's only for people that that we're doing this. If Jasudical's interested in that. So give me 1 second. Well, I have to set up the streams for this. So give me a minute and we will see what happens. Let's get some music while we wait, not this. And I'm going to try to fix something. So for all the runners there, it'll probably be 10 or 15 minutes because I just had a couple things that hopefully I should be able to get fixed in the meantime. So hang in there. Okay, I'm going to... We're going to get Jasudical on a call here. Hello, Jesu.
Hello.
How are you feeling after that race? Also need to check my audio, actually, to make sure you're loud enough for the viewers.
I mean, I'm fine. I think my auto jump, something's wrong with my controller or my Joy keys. My auto jump is like not working every input in the start, and then I just got super nervous when I seen everyone finishing. So
Gotcha. So you were like neck and neck with Slania there for a while. Were you aware of it being like literally neck and neck?
no, I didn't have it on stream open.
Gotcha. It was crazy. It was you were both sort of having some issues on the last level there at the same time.
Well, it's funny. I'll have to watch it back.
Yeah. So I guess you probably were hoping and expecting to get at least a couple rounds out of it. So a bit unfortunate. Did you end up finishing the race or did you DNF?
DNF.
Gotcha. Unfortunate.
Oh, good.
So for next time, what I guess really you only took like a day or two to de-rust. Do you think that was the issue there?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Mario for the league that's going on right now.
How's that been going, Mario? You've been doing 16 star?
16 star, yeah. It's fun. Probably coming back to Meatball after this, so
Gotcha.
At least a little bit of practice.
Nice. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. How has Mario been going for you?
I'm still learning. I'm down to a 22, I think, on 16 star.
Nice. Do you have like an end goal on that one?
Maybe sub 20, and then move on to another game. Nice.
That sub 20 is like, I've seen a lot of people grind that, and that seems to be like a really good like I don't want to say beginner goal, but like when you're first starting out, a good goal to have because it's like you can't really be messing around doing it, but it also leaves a lot of like availability for you to decide what strats you want to use.
Yeah, sub 20 is definitely where you start taking riskier strats in a different route.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, I need to set up stream stuff, so thanks for the interview, and thanks for participating as well. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, hopefully next time you can get, a little bit further on, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so I am going to, whoops, my results screen. Oh my gosh. There we go. Janky setup by me. But I'm simply trying my best. Yeah, trying to get a diamond miner in here to actually be showing up properly. Let's see what we got here. I need to open up the next race for people. And then we should get ready to go. So we're going to have all the same racers, but we will not have Jasudical. Everybody make sure you join in on this race. We'll be starting in about 5 minutes. Your stream was broken the first round, but this time we have it. We have a timer this time that's actually going to work. And then we have one more thing where I'm going to get a green rectangle over the top of the stream, and it should be, hopefully the green rectangle won't mess up as I do it. but let's see. I think everybody is just about ready. We should be starting up here in just a minute. As I just finish up here. Who do we all have for winning the this next race? I don't think that, at least I would have predicted that. Oh my gosh. I don't think I would have predicted Pepsi, to be honest with you. That was not my prediction of who was going to win the tournament, or the first race. Yeah, a dark horse. Hopefully we can see that kept up, because Pepsi has been playing well. I think definitely we'll need to see more of a... oh my goodness, no, the YouTube music was supposed to start off. Or was supposed to end. Anyways. We have everybody ready, so we're going to get started in 15 seconds. As everybody's going, so good luck, have fun, everybody in the race. And we're going to get going in roughly about 3 seconds. Who knows how my timer is going to be off of the race, but at least we have something this time. So we need no introductions anymore for this race. We have... this time 15 or 14 racers going through this. Here we're seeing Vorpal, Pepsi, Warmham, Zytho, Galaxy, Saxu, Scal, Chris. I really wonder, cannot keep up with 14 people any better than 15. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Can look at 4 here. Have Vorpal, Pepsi, Warmham, and Zytho. Pepsi once again just going through the consistency. I really do love to see it, you know. I do understand that we don't necessarily expect to see Vorpal at the top of his game yet. Can you just have only Shadex on the screen? Yeah, just for you. Wait, which one was Shadex? Oh, here we go. Oh, an unfortunate death by Shadex right as the request to put only Shadex on there. And the audio thing is still not working, which is unfortunate. Let's transition back. Yeah, you really hate to see a transition into a death. You know, really feels cursed. And we look at these first 8 runners here, and we're actually seeing a pretty good amount of consistency as 7 of these 8 runners doing a good job, and Chris just a little bit behind. You never know also with stream delay how much is there. And we look at this other one, Killing Pepsi on both of these, you know, Diamond Miner, Shadex, Goobs, Naughty. Is Squeeze broken? It's okay. Squeeze is broken. We're gonna have to fix Squeeze. Squeeze's stream is fine, but not unfortunately showing up correctly. Nice to Shadex for framing him true. I mean, it's Back's fault, really. It's not mine. I didn't want to do it. Killing Pepsi is really killing it, living up to the name. But we do see Vorpal having a slight lead over this one. Scowl also right there. Saxu right there. On this script, you know, Galaxy right there. 7 of these 8 runners are really absolutely killing it. You do really love to see all the racers just right there on the same screen. Okay, if my stream hiccups for a second, I'm reloading a bunch of streams, so I wouldn't be shocked if it did. Actually, right now, no hiccups on this. I am honestly shocked that I'm able to get all 18 of these runners on stream at the same time with minimal issues. It's honestly a miracle. Okay, let's see what they're doing over here. Shadex going into Chad. Okay. I need to remember that I have to do the audio manually. Squeeze finishing up, Chad. Squeeze doing really well. Squeeze is right behind Vorpal right now for the lead, actually. Will Pepsi take a detour to unlock Fly Wrench? You know, many are asking this question, and I do think this is a fair question, because what is killing Pepsi if not one of the top 5 to top 10 most famous Fly Wrench runners? Diamond Miner finishing up as Pepsi starting there at the beginning. Squeeze also is just actually like a second behind Vorpal. Vorpal moving on to what is this, 3-4? I forget the numbers of levels. I played this game a lot in my days, I would say. Can't remember numbers. But yeah, Squeeze just basically like 5 seconds behind Vorpal with the slight lead. Zytho and Scowl both actually not far behind, with Scowl having a small lead over Zytho here. Galaxy not far behind either. We are basically all in this, and it looks like as well when we look at this other one, Selenia needs to do some catching up. So, something that no one's pointed out yet. We're going from 14 to 12 this time. You pointed it out? Oh, dang. I'm sorry, Cow Doggy. See, this is what happens consistently in my life. I'm like, oh, I don't need to listen to Cow Doggy. And look what happens when you don't. Look what happens when you do not listen to Cow Doggy. So just a little piece of advice for you. Listen to Cow Doggy. Yeah, Selenia really the only one not in the later half of the chapter, but we're seeing some consistency, which is good on this. And the way to catch up is really not going to be doing anything crazy or fancy. It's just going to be consistently getting your strats. That's how you PB in this game, and that's how you're going to catch up in this. Is going to need some help from other people, but let's move over here as we're seeing Vorpal go into Brownie. Wait, what? Vorpal is racing Brownie. We have a Brownie race going on. Let's see. Vorpal takes the early lead over Brownie as we're going to go into straightaway where Brownie sort of cheats and gets super speed, but it doesn't matter for Vorpal. Vorpal's just too fast. Is going to easily slide through that, landing right on top of those platforms. This race is nothing to Vorpal. That is going to give Killing Pepsi a slight lead. It looks like roughly the same amount as Zytho, but you do have to give some credit to Vorpal for racing Brownie. Honestly, quite rare. Quite rare to see, and you do love to see it. It reminds. So there was a tournament like this like 2 or 3 years ago that I did, and I was trying to do Deathless because I don't know. I was talking with Scruffy Buttons, who was like, "Oh," and I was like, "No, it's rough. It's pretty easy to get a Deathless any percent if you're just like not. You're just going for it." And then I died on 5:15, and I felt silly. So it's actually not really easy to get a Deathless any percent if you're going slow. Is the lesson I learned. But that won't be the first or last time I was humbled by Super Meat Boy. Zytho here with the lead on 4-8. Yeah, I'm so bad with the level names. But Pepsi is like, what is this? About looks like 4 seconds behind. Really nothing. Let's transition. Let's see if Diamond Minder is going to do Hex. No Hex. We also see, let's see if Chris at the bottom there is going to go for Hex. Doesn't look like it, as Chris looks like maybe a bit of a slip up there in the setup anyways. Squeeze is also, I have been sort of like not paying too much attention to Squeeze, but Squeeze is killing it right now. Is that ahead of Vorpal? I might have been saying the wrong people are ahead. Yeah, I think Squeeze has the lead. It's about a half of a level lead over Zytho right now. 2 levels from the end of hell. Oh, an unfortunate death, and Zytho, an unfortunate 2 death, and so Zytho is going to be in the lead. Oh, it's like a tie right now with Vorpal and Zytho. It is like a tie right now. It's literally a half second off. Pepsi is also right there, which is really cool. Galaxy's entered as well, so Galaxy not far behind, and Squeeze is not far behind as well. So this is going to be an exciting one to see who the top runners are. This is a pretty. Let's look to see how some of the runners that aren't in there are doing. Let's turn on the audio compressor here. Selenia, still a bit behind, but it looks like Chris is the one to catch up to on this. Chris having some struggles, and as long as Selenia does stay... Oh, actually, Naudi as well. Naudi was, of course, just not sure about consistency. That was the big thing that we were concerned about. Has not been able to play too much. Put them on the top ones. We'll see if I can set that up. We'll see if I can set that up for the end. But yeah, we have a really exciting top race right now. Let's swap over really quick to Vorpal as we're going through this, and then let's try to get No, it shouldn't mess up the stream. One of the things that, so we in the Meat Boy community have largely used like Speed Gaming or another channel to do it, but and decided to host this on my own so that we could get things where we're showing some of, all of these runners, and look at how close they are. Vorpal does have a bit of a squeeze going for 5.8 is very smart, actually. It is actually much smarter than it seems. It is not much slower. 5.1 is a really difficult level. And if you're not confident with it, doing 5.8 makes sense. It is about a second of time loss to do 5.8, which is not much at all. 5.1 can be a very frustrating level. Vorpal doing very well going through this. Pepsi just staying right on Vorpal's back. Zytho seems to be, as I would expect, Zytho is sort of going, gaining some major ground, but then also, having some mistakes and deaths. Again, like Zytho, fantastic, amazing. We could see some 17s in here. I wouldn't be surprised. It's just about consistency. If Zytho could get some consistency, I would not be shocked to see, some 17s. And honestly, he could go as far as he wants. But a couple unfortunate deaths here from Zytho, as Vorpal is just doing his thing, going through it. Let's look to see how we're doing at large here. Chris and Scal both transition at the same time. Galaxy doing well. Looks like a level behind Pepsi, who's a level behind Vorpal. Oh no, yeah. Unfortunate death from Galaxy. 5.1 is a risk, and you only need to not end. Yeah, exactly. 5.1 is a good strat, but let's see how Vorpal does on Larry. Doesn't get good RNG. Setup's not right, so we're gonna have Pepsi going in here as the second Larry goes off. It looks like oh no. Looks like Pepsi, unfortunately, paused a little bit late. It's not like he messed it up necessarily. It's a bit of RNG on when you can even pause. Galaxy going in there, got 1, got 2. Is she gonna get the third one? No. Maybe a 4-cycle though. Zytho entering it. A 4-cycle, good RNG from Galaxy. Let's see how Zytho does with RNG. Squeeze is also in Larry. Oh, Pepsi takes a death. Unfortunate. Vorpal is taking a bit of a lead here. Galaxy is not too far behind, but it probably is about 10 seconds of a lead for Vorpal right now. Squeeze moving on. Looks like they're going to be about third in this one. Bad RNG for Zytho. And we're going to transition over here to some of these guys. Whoops. Shadax moving in to Larry. Let's see how it is for Shadax. As Pepsi is still waiting. Oh no. Time Miner with an interesting setup here for this level, just to get on that middle one so that they can go and skip going and grabbing some keys. Oh no. Some bad RNG. Slania is not that far, well, it is about a minute or two behind. Pepsi is going to move on. We have a bunch of our front runners here moving through onto the end. Chris is, it looks like, about to finish up on Larry. Ooh, almost a death there on 6-4 from Zytho. It seemed like Zytho, after getting that 1747, really didn't do too many runs, so, you know, not like rust, but a little bit of dust to shake off. And I'm not sure how much practice before these runs were put in, so this could be sort of like, you know, runs to shake off the dust a little bit. Yeah, complacency. So we have Galaxy and Vorpal are neck and neck for this. It does look like Vorpal's going to take it, as it is, you know, 6-7. No, it's more like a 10-12 second lead. Vorpal going to get, it looks like a mid-18. That's very impressive. Yeah, as we would expect from Vorpal. I don't know how much Vorpal had time to derust. But yeah, it does not take him all too long to get derusted. Galaxy is she's going to be finishing up here with still an 18, which is awesome. Let's look to see what these final race times are. The racetime.gg says 18:26 and then an 18:43 for Galaxy. So 18:26 Vorpal, 18:43. Those will be the two 18s on this race. Squeeze is finishing up as well. Mid 19 for 18:26 with the brownie race. That's true. That's basically like an 18:10 equivalent or so. Squeeze gonna drop in there. A good race by Squeeze. I'm sure Squeeze will be happy with that. Zytho finishing up as well just now. So awesome race. Shadax eating my keyboard. This is important. Look at that. Look at those keyboards go. How many keyboards can one anime girl eat? Apparently many. We're learning a lot here today. Slania right now would need some serious luck in order to come back. As almost everybody is in. Actually, it looks like everybody is in Fetus. Shadax here finishing up. Goobs about to go on the button. Oh no, Naudi actually is right there. So we're actually going to have two that are there. So Naudi is also actually, it looks like those are our most likely eliminated runners are Naudi and Slania. It's always a possibility, as we saw last round with Jesu was just not able to really get to the end there. Chris and Scal are finishing up as well. Scal finished about a second here as we're seeing Chris finish it up. Goob's right there at the end. Pepsi, how long was your Larry? That was awful. That was an awful Larry. You and Shaddix both seem to have really awful Larrys. It looks like everybody but the bottom two are finished, so that will be how we finish this, with Naughty and Slania getting eliminated. This was a tough one where basically you had to get a 2130 or below to move on. Only maybe Killing Pepsi got a sub 20. That's possible, but basically everybody else, there were from 5th place on was all above a 20-minute race. So when it comes to this next round, you're going to have to get top 8. Top 8 is a requirement. So might have to see a lot more consistency from some of these runners in order to actually move on. But a fun race. All right. Now to finish up with a 22-42. GG's to all the runners. Very exciting. We're going to be doing a little bit of setup here, but it should only be about 5 minutes. We are on the pace that I sort of was hoping for, which is about 2 races an hour. Yeah, GG's for the runners. Also, let me see. I need to set up these next streams for as we move forward. Yeah, that next round I am really looking forward to. I think that when we're talking about high stakes now coming up on all of these races, because we are going to be going from 12 to 8. You cannot make big mistakes here if you are those runners that are near the middle. It's going to be tough to see, but yeah, GG from Slania making it to that second round on a very close one, and unfortunate that it couldn't get too close there towards the end, but yeah, this third round we are going to be going from 12 to 8. Enjoy the music, as I am going to need I am going to need probably about 5 minutes to set up here. Racers will have that race up in just 1 minute. Thanks, Cow Doggy. I think I was ahead. Well, wasn't Mate invited? Everyone was invited. Yeah, I thought that, you know, it would be really fun is kicking 4 runners out, making sure that they know what's about to happen. No, but this is where it really is gonna get crazy. As we're gonna move on here. Yeah, you gotta play well. This is the round. This is the round where mistakes are really gonna get you. Any Baba fans in the chat? We're just about 2 minutes away. So, runners, stay ready. Okay, I've never heard of this. I hear there's so many goats. Good question. Good question. All right, we are just about ready, folks, to start this up. Let me make sure that I turn that off. Let's get some meat music going. Music for meat. All right. And we are just about ready to go. So runners, make sure you are ready. It looks like everybody is ready. Okay, we're going to be starting about 15 seconds. Everybody wish the runners a good luck. Who do we think is going to win on this one? Last time, remember, we had a huge Vorpal win. But Pepsi's been killing it. Zytho right there, you know. Could be anybody. This one is a huge. Also, thank you so much for the raid, Peter Sink. Hello, everybody. Hope your stream went very well. Fast. So true. Again, no introduction. Zytho with a early lead. Although, again, you know, early on when we look at these, a really big thing is stream delay as we're going through Forest. When you're going through these races, the big thing that you don't want to do, and this is sort of obvious, but I'm gonna say it because I like to say obvious things. You just don't want to lose time in Forest, really. Mostly because it's really easy to. It's a lot harder, I think, to get time back. You know, when you're trying to climb ahead, because mentally, I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, but I feel like you're trying to climb back. If you stay consistent at the beginning, it feels like, okay, let's just maintain that consistency, and a death isn't as big of a deal. But when you have deaths early, I always feel like you're playing a little bit like, ooh, a little risky. Is there enough room for a Corgi? I think there's enough room for a Corgi now. This is a good point. This is an excellent point that has been brought up. The fans have been asking. As we're heading into Slugger. I don't think we saw anything from these 6 runners here. Everybody actually is on all sides is actually on Little Slugger, so we have a very, very, very good race. I think these runners know that there's no room to mess up right now. Okay, we got a Corgi. Let's go. You can eat this, I think. I think that's allowed. Let's go over and see how Squeeze is doing. I almost actually transitioned into a death. Okay, well, I did transition into a death. Some unfortunate timing there from Squeeze. Shadax doing really well. Goob's doing really well. Scowl. We have all of these runners really on the same pace. Diamond Mine are not far behind either. This is... It's even more than the comment. It's like a producer's curse because I was like switching over. Which of these runners is the most pop punk? So when it comes to the most pop punk runners, unfortunately Jasudical got knocked out. Squeeze, I actually don't know. Pop punk. Goobs, there's potential, but I don't know. Chris, don't know. Diamond Minder, no idea. Scal, French, so it's a low probability. Shadax, also French. Big anime fan. I mean, the anime though, it kind of balances it out because there's a lot of that like pop punk when you get into anime. You know, the anime intro, you know, Radwimps style, you know, is there. I just don't know. When it comes to French pop punk, you really have like Chunk No Captain Chunk, and that's about it. And so that's really the issue that we have. Don't call your boy French. Did I call someone French who's not French? Shadax French? Oh no, did I call Shadax French? My bad. He's Belgian? My bad. Well, forgive me, Shadax, for saying you're French. I know that there's like how Owning is German. Yeah, I probably would have said Owning Death is German. This is like calling Slaughter French. I mean, the colors are the same for Slaughter. Almost French. Geographically. Look, you have to forgive me. I'm American. I don't know geography. You know what I mean? Squeeze and Shadax both. Looks like it's closing it out. Shadax a little bit of trouble with the auto jump there. Heading in there. Let's look over to the Vorpal side of streams. Dutch are horizontally French. Yeah, exactly. Shaking too much, yeah. Wow, Vorpal, Shadax, or Vorpal killing Pepsi. Now I called killing Pepsi Shadax. You know what I mean? I'm losing it, folks. There's too many European countries, yeah. Oh yeah, we have a really tight race. Zytho with a slight lead over Vorpal, who's just a tiny bit ahead of killing Pepsi. Warm Ham is just now entering. Squeeze and Shadex just now entering. Right now, so we are eliminating 4 runners, folks. On the chopping block right now, we have Diamond Miner, Chris, Goobs, and maybe Scal or maybe Saxu. They're both basically on the same pace. Vorpal and Pepsi now on the same level. Zytho, I think I saw that Zytho got the slide there. Vorpal gets the slide. Pepsi's not going for the slide there. That's a frame perfect input for those that don't know. Most of these pauses that you're seeing is auto jump, so it lets you jump on every single frame. That way you're basically maximizing your height and speed as you're doing jumps. But on that one, you're actually doing it to lose full speed for just a single frame, and that sets you up with the perfect momentum where when you're on that conveyor, if you press jump on the very perfect frame, you slide up, and that gives you a really about a 1 second time save versus the next fastest strat, and then like a 4 second time save over your traditional strat. Saxu and Galaxy almost at the same pace. Let's transition over to the other runners and see how they're doing. Shadex entering in. Really, right now it looks like you really want to be on the second half of Salt Factory. Goobs and Chris right now, really Chris right now is a little bit behind where you want to be. Goob's on that tail end as well, and Scal really not too far behind when it comes to that. So Galaxy will leave Larry in first place, mark my words. Interesting bet by Back. Squeeze going and finishing up here. Just to give an update on the runners off stream, Vorpal is entering 4-1 right now. Pepsi is entering Hell. Zytho entering 4-3, basically the same pace as Vorpal. Galaxy and Ham, or Galaxy just finished Brownie. Ham and Saxu are just finishing up. So this is crazy. Well, I think Larry, right now what we're seeing is nobody's really too far ahead or behind. A lot of seemingly like 20 paces, 20 or 21s. And I think Larry is going to be a big one, which we expect. Larry, just all RNG. Diamond Miner and Chris, both really the same pace, but that's not where you want to be right now. They are the only two in Salt Factory. And they're finishing up right there. And what I love about Squeeze is just like playing extremely consistently. I say that and there's a little bit of a hiccup. Whenever I point Squeeze out, it really is, there's just some small thing, so I feel bad. Diamond Miner heading in, Chris heading in. Getting good Larrys in practice. You're never quite sure if you want those good Larrys in practice. Statistics don't work like this, but I feel like all speedrunners can really relate to it. When you get like good Larry in practice or in a bad run, you always feel like, what was the point of this? I just cursed my good luck. But statistics don't work like that, but it sometimes feels like it does. Let's go and see here as we have the top runners over here on this screen, or the runners ahead, I should say. Vorpal is really finishing this up. It looks like Zytho has had a bad health. Not sure exactly where Zytho got held up on in this one. Can't be entirely sure, but a bit unfortunate. Zytho can absolutely catch up as well, but you do not want to get trapped up there. And that's another one where I was talking about earlier, where you don't want to mess up in Forest, because it is very easily possible to have a bad Hell, a bad Rapture, a bad End. But Vorpal right now, moving along playing consistently. Saxu, I have almost neglected a little bit on this, but Saxu playing really well. Looks like will be the second or really third person actually probably to enter. Oh no, he's a little bit behind Zytho. Squeeze is entering in. Pepsi's entering in as well. I guess Saxu just really on pace with a lot of these people. It looks like, and there's still plenty of time, folks. There's still a ton of time, so I do not mean to say this is how it's going to be, because in Larry you can lose 3 minutes. You know, you can lose a ton of time. But right now, we're seeing all of those ones on the other stream that we're not seeing right now are basically the same pace except for Vorpal. But it looks like Diamond Miner and Chris they're going to have to keep playing well, not make many mistakes in order to come back, and possibly hope that they have good RNG. Squeeze moving on. And then when it comes to the next 4, it's really going to be anybody's game. It's really anybody's game. Galaxy start was like 10 seconds late compared to the others. Yeah, it's hard to know, especially when I have 12 streams open, like who has what delay, but there's certainly stream delay that you have to consider. Let's head back over to the other side. One thing you do have to keep in mind is that some people will do slightly different strats, but the routes that people take will line up when you get back to 5-9. So some of these runners will be doing 5-8, so it might look like they're right in line with others, but until you get to 5-9, you really don't know who's where. Two drops of an any percent runner: don't die on Littlehorn and don't enter Sunshine Island. It's true. That's a factual statement. Cannot argue. Oh no, killing Pepsi with a really unfortunate mistake there. And right now that's like a 8 to 10 second mistake. I think closer to 10 seconds. You can't have that right now, and so killing Pepsi goes from a little bit of a comfortable place in this into really in the running to be eliminated. It looks really right now like Vorpal is the only one that I would say is probably not getting eliminated, whereas anybody else is on that chopping block. Yeah, Vorpal not getting that first try Fim skip. That happens. Not getting... Oh, no. 511 is one of those levels where sometimes you can just... Oh, you don't like to see there was that zombie boy that was just right in its place. I was right here. I was pumping Vorpal up. I was saying Vorpal's got this. And now is basically on the same pace as Squeeze, it appears. Both entering 5:15? 5:14. As we go here, Goobs on a good enough pace here, but really, if you're these runners, you just want to stay consistent and hope you get a good Larry, because that's what it's looking like right now, is that 4 runners being eliminated, so you really, really, really have to play well. Squeeze going through and playing nicely. Squeeze actually taking the lead right now as Vorpal takes a death on 5:15 off stream. This is actually incredibly tight, folks. I have no idea who's going to make it past. It is going to be up to Larry. As it looks like Squeeze is going to be the first person into Larry. Uh-oh, Goob's having a little bit of trouble there. And you got to think that there's some nerves here because they know that they have to play really well. Let's see. Squeeze gets a pause. Waits a little bit longer than you need to, but unfortunately gets bad RNG there. All 3 worms popped up at basically the same time, so no matter the setup, I think that Squeeze just not there. So Vorpal's entering into this. Oh, some bad RNG for Squeeze. Squeeze gets that second one. Vorpal here also has that second one. Zytho the first one through. Saxu right behind. Galaxy is right there. Wormham about to enter. Okay, so Vorpal leaves. Squeeze is still waiting. Scal is actually entering and gets the first 2 to jump on Scal's side off stream. Galaxy just finishing this up. This is Saxu having a little bit of trouble with 6-1. I mean Pepsi right behind there. Wormham not good RNG for Wormham. So it looks like Wormham might be on the chopping block. Diamond Miner is still in 516. Goobs is in Rapture still. So if we're looking at who is possibly getting eliminated, I think they might actually mostly be on this stream. Goobs and Chris and Diamond Miner. It's going to be tough for them to come back with everybody else being past the RNG section of the game. Killing Pepsi, or actually Vorpal has it appears a slight, no, Saxu is in the lead actually. Okay, so Vorpal is climbing back to a bit of a lead. Saxu really playing those consistent strats, like right here, not going through those saw blades. Saxu might know that, ooh, gets the key skip. That's huge. Vorpal takes a death, so Saxu actually in the lead still. Saxu potentially with the victory here in the 3rd round. That is awesome. Saxu, not surprised that Saxu took a victory, but you know, over runners like Vorpal and with how well Zytho has been running, I am, you know, a bit surprised. This is awesome. Zytho needs to, or Wormham and Zytho actually. This one is close. They could definitely get eliminated. Squeeze is on there. So if I'm looking at this right now, the runners that are still going through on this, it looks like Chris had a terrible Larry, by the way. Just now entering end. So unfortunately, it looks like that's going to be an elimination for Chris, unless something really terrible happens to 4 of these other runners. But Goob's there is near the end. So what we're seeing is Saxu is probably going to take this a little bit of time there. Vorpal's not that far behind, but let's see what happens. No! A death by Saxu! So Galaxy is actually... Oh, no. Vorpal is there. So Vorpal will get that. Galaxy as well. That was unfortunate. It was very close by Saxu to be able to get it. So Vorpal with a 1922. Galaxy actually was a 1923. So just behind. Saxu with a 1931. So Saxu's moving on. Squeeze gets a 1933. But let's see what we have here. Wormham, Pepsi, Zytho. So it looks like Pepsi and Zytho are going to be there. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I guess it doesn't. I guess the audio does not matter. Shadax is finishing there. Do we have some streams frozen? Scal and Goobs right there. I mean, Zytho's finishing. It looks like they're probably going to get eliminated as we see Killing Pepsi and Warm Ham are going to be finishing. So it looks like we have that there as Zytho, Pepsi, and Warm Ham all finish. Chris, and it was a 2022 is what we're seeing. A 2034 from Scal gets eliminated. Chris, Goobs, and Diamond Miner gonna get taken out here. Goobs with the monkey ball. Some great races. That was very exciting. I was not sure. Larry, you got to think with Chris. You know, Chris looks a little bit far behind, but Chris had a really bad Larry. Terrible. And yeah, it was just so close that you couldn't have it. I'm a bit surprised. I'm not shocked that you needed a sub 20, 30 to get that top 8, but I am a little bit surprised because it seemed like everybody had a good race. Maybe Diamond Miner and Chris aren't going to be super happy about it, but really nothing there that was all too bad. Everyone's just the right amount of rusty. It's true. It's true. This next round, we're going to be going actually from 4 runners, as Chris is here finishing up. GG to Chris. We're going to be going from
the end.
From 8 runners to 4 runners. Look at that. Nobody with above a 22 is extremely impressive. It is actually very difficult to emphasize just how consistent you have to play to get really in that, you know, always getting sub 20 range. We have Warm Ham just barely going on, and really Pepsi. All of those from 6th place to 8th place did have a chance of getting knocked out, and so we're gonna have to see who's gonna move on. I think you're probably gonna need like a 1930 in order to make it to the semifinals here. Is quarterfinals 2 words or 1 word? Who knows? Not me. Let's see. If any eliminated runners want an interview, ping me and I will invite you to a voice call. As I am going to be fixing up some streams here. Unfortunate with Scal playing really well, Goobs playing really well. Did Goobs PB a couple times here? I'm not. I missed this, but I think that give me a second and we'll get some interviews here. All right, we're gonna get Diamond Miner here on the call.
Hey, Shredberg.
Hello. How did you feel about your runs today?
I definitely my first run was probably my best. I would say throughout the runs in the early game, I was getting some nerves that were holding me back. Overall, I'm happy with the runs for sure. They were all close to my PB, so
Yeah, and you just got a PB the other day, right?
Yeah, it was 20:47, I think. So my runs were pretty close to that. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. How were you feeling that very last race, getting eliminated? Did you know how close that whole race was, or were you going blind? I assume most people were going in blind.
I did have the stream open, and I saw I was close with a few people. It looked like I was gonna get eliminated, but I tried not to give up and pray for some Larry luck.
How was your
But,
Larry? I didn't see it necessarily. How did that go?
Oh, Larry did not have any pity on me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it seems like you and Chris both just no help on that front. So that is how these things go. I do think that's one of the fun things about these tournaments, is that, you know, even at your level, right, it's difficult to say, oh yeah, I can beat Galaxy and Vorpal, but with Larry there actually is that chance of it happening. You know, it didn't happen here, but definitely had the chance there.
Oh yeah, definitely anyone's game in these types of races.
Let's see. I'm trying to get this tournament. Anything else that you want to say? I'm going to pull somebody else in for an interview as well. Anything else that you want to say?
Just good luck to all the runners. Thanks for having me, and thanks for hosting this. It's been really fun so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for participating as well. I'm going to drop this call and get someone else in. We're going to get Scal. I am hosting, or hoping to host, or at least, what's the word? Get tournaments like every month or two or so, just so that there can be you know, more events, because that's really what keeps people active in communities, is more and more events. And now we have Scal. Hey Scal, how did you feel about your tournament overall?
That was pretty tense. That was hard, but I liked it. That was really great.
Is this the first time? How many times have you been in a relay or tournament or anything like this for this game?
I've been a relay like 2 years ago, I think, and it was catastrophic. And right now I'm pretty happy with how I performed. So that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you did well. Were you close to any PBs or anything in your tournament, right, or in your races?
Well, no, I messed up a lot at the end on the 3 runs, so not close from my PB. But well, on the last run I was 1 minute behind, so it's pretty decent.
Gotcha. So, with all of these, would you think that, I guess in terms of improvement for next time, would it really be working on end, or where do you see your improvement most of all? Is it just overall consistency? What would bring you to the quarterfinals next time?
I think, yeah, Hell and Hand. I need to work on these. I've improved a lot on Rupture, but yeah, Hell and the End are still pretty tough for me.
Yeah, I think they're tough for basically everybody.
Yeah.
Hell, it's one of those where I was saying on stream, I think that it's almost impossible to like consistently be great at Hell. So you really have to make sure that you are you're on it. So you don't want to lose time in Forest that way, that once you get to Hell and you lose a little bit of time, it's fine.
Yeah, obviously. That's consistency, after all.
Exactly. Okay. Anything else that you want to say?
Yeah, just a quick thanks to Crux and Zito for the help. They've trained me for 3 years and 1 year, so thanks to them. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for the interview, and thanks for participating. Really appreciate it. I'm going to need just about a couple minutes here to set up for the next round, and then we will get going. Oh. I see what I did. I made a typo. Anyways, I should mute my microphone for a minute. We'll start that next race in a couple minutes, and runners, I'll have the race from racetime.gg up in just about 60 seconds. Any short hikers in the chat? Is Slania also French? I'm not sure actually. I never checked. I don't know. We're almost set up here. I'm just making sure that I have everybody's names and all of that correct in here as we move on. Oh, actually, I ran into an issue. Sorry, a couple more minutes. Thanks for the patience, everybody. Oh, anybody know what song? This is a familiar song. What video game is this from? Minecraft, Celeste, one of those. Super Meat Boy, SMB, yeah, which one? Monkey Boy? Monkey Ball, I mean. Monkey Boy. Okay, we are just about ready here. Thanks everybody for the patience as I get this through. Let's see, all of them are ready to go, so we are going to get going here. Actually, let's get started. Let's get started like this. Oh no, that's messed up. That's messed up, folks. We're gonna get started and let's go. So here we got Vorpal, Killing Pepsi, Warm Ham, and Dr. Zytho. Looks like all of their streams at the same time. And then on the other side here, we got I got these runners are out of place, so we're gonna go back to the other ones because the names are in fact incorrect. But let's go back over here to the side with Vorpal and Killing Pepsi and Warm Ham and Dr. Zytho, who have I did not put these runners really in any sort of like, this is who's going to be the top and who's going to be the bottom. It largely was like who signed up when, but it just coincidentally ended up that this is how it worked out. So going through Forest, again, this is where runners are really going to want to just get consistency going through this. Killing Pepsi is just killing it. Killing Pepsi seems to be like all the way through Salt Factory on all of these races. They're just like going through, no issue. Some of your favorites are guaranteed to be out. It's true. This is where you need to play close to perfect, get good RNG, or else you are gonna get kicked out. It's just the way that it is. There is nothing you can do. So everybody getting good forests. Love to see it. Zytho and Pepsi already going in there and entering hospital. Trying to do two things at once right now, so just trying to fix. Yeah, it looks like we're good. There we go. We got all 8 runners right here, and a timer that's a little bit clipped. That's fine. There we go. Yeah, just had to fix that up a little bit. So it looks like right now everybody basically on the same level, but Saxu and is not far behind as well. Yeah, only half of these runners will get through, and they're basically on the same pace right now. Absolute madness, but we are early on. You do expect more consistency to happen in the beginning of these, and really it is once you get to Hell that things really start to go off of the rails, especially if you're getting to the top 8 here, you're going to have a good amount of consistency. Even if some of these players that haven't played in a while, the rust is fairly shaken off. They might not be playing to the exact level that they want, but you have to be able to play consistently to do it. Right now, the one thing that I think you really gotta, if you're some of these runners, realize is that you need to start, put up an 18 or so. Some of these runners have never done that. Saxu just actually PB'd that last race. So what's really interesting about that is not only was Saxu that close from winning the tournament, but potentially could have gotten like a 19-1x on that. Did get a 1930 on that one, which is really cool to see. And Saxu not doing too poorly here as well. Going to be the penultimate runner into Chad, but that doesn't mean much as long as you're not well behind. But still looks about 15 seconds behind Killing Pepsi and Vorpal and Zytho, which is more than... It's not much time to make up. Not much time to make up. Entering into factory. Looks like no one really having too many issues there with Chad. Saxu going for... or not getting Chad skip on that one. So that's going to lose a little bit more time. It does look like it is roughly in the order of who is in what place right now. Just swapping Galaxy and Shadex. Thought on Joe. Who's Joe? Vorpal there, getting a nice skip. That's awesome. Zytho really right behind now. Vorpal is caught up a little bit. So really we have those two runners being in first place. It'll be interesting to see. Vorpal really not known for playing through anything slow. Zytho really the same way. You're going to be getting some really fast times, so I do wonder if Zytho would be able to catch up if, you know, Vorpal doesn't make a mistake, but we just see a bit of a death there. And that's going to let Pepsi go and climb into second place as well. As we see here, the runners that are going into the second half of Salt. Warmham just a little bit behind into 5th place. So right now Warmham would be the first runner out, with Vorpal, Pepsi, Zytho, and Squeeze being the first four, or being the four to move on. Saxu, just now noticing Saxu doing a very conservative routing, which is fine. Goes through just 1 through 17 on this one. And so that's about 2 or 3 seconds slower. But there's a lot of consistency. You're seeing Vorpal on it right now with Grundle skip. If you're not comfortable with that, that's actually going to end up being a pretty smart play to do. Especially if you're going for, you know, race consistency and all that stuff. Zytho almost climbing back to where Vorpal's at for second place. Squeeze right there. Ooh, Vorpal messing up the first skip. So that's giving just a tiny bit more time for Zytho. So about 3 seconds behind. Pepsi with a mistake there. Looks like Warmham also with a mistake. So Squeeze and Zytho neck and neck there, going for that first place, with Pepsi and Warmham right there. Galaxy, Shadex just finishing up. Galaxy right behind. So they're going to need to catch up, Galaxy and Shadex. I do anticipate Galaxy being able to stay right there with the consistency, but really going to have to see. Wormham, I know, was very worried about the tournament going into practice and not getting many sub 20s on that. But right now is playing with a great level of consistency. Zytho playing Hex safe. Oh, Vorpal with a death here on Ricketts. Another death on Ricketts. Uh-oh. Well, messes it up. Not able to get the time save there. Unfortunate, but you do love to see runners go for it. Zytho not going for it. Killing Pepsi not going for it. Squeeze. Pepsi and Squeeze don't go for it. Only Vorpal and Zytho, I think, of the runners that we have right now, are double Ricketts. Double Riskets. Goers. Saxu just consistently going and playing, and I think that right now it might look like, ooh, well, that's a definite person to look to, you know, potentially be eliminated, but really, as long as you just stay right there, you have the potential to get there because of Larry. But you do not want to, you don't want to have a good Larry. You don't want to depend on RNG, but consistent play will. Just look at how close Vorpal, Zytho, and Squeeze are. Man. With Warm Ham, Galaxy, and Shadax basically the same pace as well. Ooh, Galaxy is having a bit of a trouble. This eyeball strat is frustrating to me, because you can sort of get caught up on the ceiling there and bonk your head and die, and it can be very, very, very frustrating. So Squeeze actually the second person into 419 and will be the second person into Chad. This boss is notoriously difficult if you trust the opinions of Watch Mojo. They have this as one of the more difficult bosses of all time. But of course, we know as speedrunners, you can just stand in one place and jump 3 times. Those falling meat men will never hit you. Having jumps as hard as it's true. Look, I mean, in my 106 PB, I have a death on this level. Galaxy entering right now. Saxu is really not far behind. You'll be interested to see if Saxu can keep that pace into and through the rest of the game. But really, we didn't see a single really bad hell that really pushed people out of contention. So Vorpal is going to be entering in Rapture with probably a 3 or 4 second lead here. Yeah, Squeeze and Zytho are not far behind. Gotta love the white flash that comes up from the boss. Ooh, Pepsi was really low on that block, but just barely saves it. Just barely saves it. And then again, you have to remember, Squeeze right now looking like Squeeze is in the lead, but Squeeze skips 5-1, so not really, we're not going to be able to see the paces here really line up until we get to 5-9. So a little bit of some non-linearity. Saxu looks like actually does 5-1, which is interesting. It's as long as you're consistent at it, it's fine. You know, just go through the levels that you're good at, and that's honestly good enough to get even a sub 18. You do not have to do 5-1. It's something that I see beginner runners, you know, try to emulate some things. But one thing that makes this game really interesting is that when you're going through and choosing what your route is, you don't really need to do just the world record route. You know, that doesn't mean anything. The world record route can do something that's like a half second faster, but if you're a beginner, it might be actually much slower for you. You see Zytho skipping 5-8, and Squeeze really not far behind. And the consistency of Vorpal just to stay just ever so slightly ahead. Warm Ham on 5-8. Galaxy 5-8. Shadax, that didn't see. I think Shadax skipped 5-1. We're going to see in a second here. Yeah. So on 5-8. So it looks like right now, Warm Ham, Galaxy, Saxu, and Shadax are on the chopping block. But we are pre-Larry, so we don't know. Really impressed by killing Pepsi. Just the consistency that they've been showing. I don't think they've had a single bad race. They had that race earlier that was like a 20-30 or something with a terrible Larry. They said that it was a 18-30 pace or 1830 best possible time going into Larry. Wormham with a, oh my goodness, did you all see that 510? That was terrifying. But Wormham saves it, loses a little bit of time, but does save it. Man. And so Vorpal is going to be the first runner going into Larry. Just, that was a great, I don't think I saw a single mistake from Vorpal there. I'm sure there was some small mistakes, but, you know, when you're in a race, you're not really worried about the, oh, I lost a half second on that strat type thing as much. Let's see, Vorpal to set up, gets one, gets two. If you can get a 2-cycle, that would be huge. Would basically guarantee a slot. And yeah, Vorpal, I'm gonna say it, is gonna move on to the semifinals. Great RNG. Let's see, as Zytho is next, or actually Squeeze is next, and Zytho not far behind. Squeeze, not amazing RNG. Zytho, not amazing RNG. Zytho gets the second to jump. Squeeze gets the second to jump. Let's see how it is for Pepsi. Pepsi only gets one jump on that first cycle. That's unfortunate. And this is going to give Galaxy enough time to go in there as well. This will be huge if Galaxy could possibly overtake before going in. Okay, there's Pepsi. So 2 runners that she can overtake. Oh, well, Zytho and Squeezer's right there. So they're going to need some good RNG in order to make it. Shadex also is right there if Shadex can get good RNG. Not doing the 2-cycle strat. We'll have to get a good 3-cycle. Potentially right there. Galaxy not with the good RNG. You hate to see this. Shadex did get good RNG though. So Shadex is not far behind Squeeze, or Zytho for that matter. Zytho with some trouble on 6-1. So unfortunate for Galaxy here. Saxu and Wormham in there as well. Yeah, it looks like Vorpal for sure is making it. As Vorpal going into the last level here, has had some trouble on this today. Great climb on 6-2 by Zytho. You really love to see those really clean climbs. But Shadex could definitely catch up to any of the Pepsi, Squeeze, or Zytho. It really just takes one death. All deaths in end are really punishing. It would take a lot for Saxu, Galaxy, or Wormham to make a comeback now, but you do never know. Vorpal, I think, was in control of this race since the beginning. Not surprising. This was just very consistent. He is on pace for what's going to end up being a very low 18. And we're seeing no mistakes from Squeeze, Zytho, or Pepsi. It still is a potential that somebody dies on Escape, somebody dies on Fetus, and Shadex comes back. Shadex is right there. Gonna lose a little bit of time not going for keyless, but at this point, you know, you never know. Vorpal right about to finish this one in first place. Looks like Zytho second, Squeeze third, Pepsi fourth, but that is not for sure what's going to happen here. There's plenty of time for something to happen. It's only a death or two in, you know, maybe a bad leap of faith, and Shadex can come back. Hard to imagine that would happen to all 3 of these runners. Vorpal with an 18:06 apparently. That is fantastic for a race. Vorpal in these events has gotten 17s before, but getting, you know, even a 1x, 18-1x is crazy. Zytho going through this just a little bit ahead of Pepsi, who's basically on the same pace as Squeeze. With stream delay, we have no idea. Zytho finishing up with an 18:47, probably a little bit faster than that. Squeeze with an 18:51, killing Pepsi with an 18:52. That's a PB, folks. That is like a 20-second PB by killing Pepsi. I said before this race that, you know, some of these runners are gonna have to get 18s. You're gonna have to get 18s if you want to move on. And that seems to be exactly true. As Galaxy, Saxu, Shadex, and Wormham are eliminated, Sax or Shadox with a good time of a 19. Wait, is 1912 a PB? Is 1912 a PB by Shadox? Am I crazy? I feel like you can't feel too bad. You can't feel too bad about getting knocked out with a PB of like what, 18 seconds? 17 seconds? Very impressive. Galaxy will finish up here with just a little bit above a 20. I'm sure she's going to be disappointed about the Larry. I'm not sure if she would have made it with a good Larry, as she's going to get a 1956, Wormham with a 1959, and we'll watch Saxu here finish up as well. Wormham with just barely the sub 20. That's awesome that we saw two racers getting a PB here. Killing Pepsi with a sub 19, that's awesome. Gets an 1851 according to the splits. That's awesome. And Saxu going to finish up here. It looks like with just barely a sub 21 or so. Yeah, going to be a 20:59 on the final time. Of course, we have stream delay here. GG's all the runners. Really impressive. All sub 21s. 7 of the 8 getting sub 20s. That was really, really, really impressive. Let's get a second to transition over. And then if any of the losing runners, if any of those 4 or the eliminated runners are interested, oh yeah, we got Meat Boy back. As we're going to get the next one started. Let's get Saxu in here really quick. We'll see when Saxu pops in. This should be a very quick setup for me, since there's only 4 runners now. Hello, Saxu. How did you feel? You just got a PB, not this round, but the previous round. How does that feel?
Yeah, that feels really good. Yesterday when I was practicing, I had like really bad runs, and I thought today I will do pretty bad, but actually it was really good. I even PB'd, and like the last round wasn't too bad too. I would have to like get sub 19 to get to the next round, which is crazy for me.
Yeah, that was one where I think all of the other runners that were in there, they've had their struggles today, but this round we weren't seeing that as much. So that was going to be, you'd have to, but you were actually, to be honest, in there for most of the run. You were just going out and doing your strats. How did you feel about that? You got a 2049, which, I mean, how did that 2049 seems like it's a, not your best run, but pretty good for a race. How'd you feel about this round?
It's still pretty good, like getting, I think all of my runs were under 21 minutes, which is really good because yesterday I couldn't like even go under 21 minutes, and today all runs were pretty good. I'm not mad.
Yeah, hard to be mad about that. I mean, getting into going into this, what did you expect? Were you expecting to be able to get into the top 8 of this one? What was your goal coming in?
When I was coming in, I just wanted to not be last, and I thought I would like fall out in first or second round, but actually like that was way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, I thought that you might have a chance on this one because I know that you, generally when I see you have these things, you do a lot of strats that are very consistent and all those. But was definitely impressed with the PB, and that was almost even a bigger PB than what you would expect as well, because you had that death right at the end of escape, so that was like almost 18-1x or 19-1x pace. So really impressed. Anything last words that you want to say?
Polska górą!
All right, that was Saxu. Let's get in Warm Ham on this one next. Let's give Warm Ham a call. Warm Ham, hello.
Hey Schreiberg, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How did you feel about your races today?
Dude, I was playing so nervous the first 2 rounds. It was looking pretty scary. I wasn't even sure I was gonna make top 8. So I turned it around the last 2 races for sure. And I think I ended on a good note. I was actually really pleased with how I was playing the first half of this last race. I think I had 1 death going into Rapture. And then it just exploded in my face really quickly.
It was crazy. Everybody was really playing very well into Rapture, and even none of the Raptures were that bad as well. It was mostly like just some bad RNG or Rapture tripped some people up. So you were like right there until the end.
Yeah, I could feel it slipping away from me. Like every death, I was like, yeah, that's probably 5th place right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, I think I'm happy that that this tournament ended up going through. I thought it was just really cool to see everybody coming together and doing this thing, this weird thing that we do as a group. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like your last race was actually your best at a 1959, and all the rest of them were like mid 20s. So actually really consistent and just a little bit better as time went on.
Yeah, my DRS was like 21, 22s when I started, and then I was averaging closer to 20s in the lead up. So that's about what I was expecting. I was hoping that a couple of folks in that last race would fall apart. I could squeeze my way in, but I don't think I was ever, with my strats, I was never gonna crack sub 19. Like I wasn't going mono or doing hex or anything.
Yeah, going for
same
consistency
grab.
is smart. Was this was top 8 sort of where you were thinking was going to be the top for you, or were you hoping maybe to get to the semis or even win it?
I had dreams of making top 4, and I think I saw a path to do so. But I think top 8 was the goal going in, and I achieved it. So I'm very content with my performance.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Any last things that you wanted to say?
No, just thank you for organizing this, and so happy to see these types of events up and running again.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. And let's get one last runner in here as well. Let's give Shadax a call. We're going to apologize to Shadax for calling him French. This is important. Redemption,
Hello.
Hello, Shadax. I have one thing to say really, really quickly. I called you French, so I apologize.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not French.
Yeah, no, I knew that, but I was just like, oh, all of the European runners, except for the European runners I knew that weren't French, and you just got lumped in there in my brain. But anyways, how did you feel that you did today? Felt like, oh, you just got a PB.
I PB'd, you're correct. Honestly, it's surreal. I didn't expect anything like this to happen. And to answer your question of how I felt at first, during the first races, I legit was super nervous. But after the first or second race, I started to feel in the zone, and it was really nice. I mean, thank you so much for organizing this tournament.
Yeah, of course.
I had a blast. And yeah, I'm super happy I PB'd, even though I got out. It's a cool way to say, dropping the mic, I'm out with a PB. Honestly, that was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I am, to be honest, like, because it was even like a 1912 too. I'm surprised that did not, that knocked you out.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the top 4, it's a strong one, and speaking of the top four, Pepsi, go Pepsi! You have to win.
I am, you know, look, I don't want to say that I'm rooting for somebody on this, but like, you know, Pepsi's playing out of their mind right now.
Yeah, that is indeed crazy. I did not expect them to be playing so well.
Yeah, 21-second
yeah.
PB for them just now, and has been
Oh,
consistently there at the top, like on that pace. They were on a similar, actually better pace going into Larry earlier.
Wow.
So it's just like, you know, I think that they could take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats to Pepsi, speaking of, you know, for the PB.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have this set up. You were interested. Did you want to do comms on the next race, or were you interested in that?
Maybe not the next one, but the one after.
Okay.
Just wanna quickly do a few things, and then after the next one, I would love to join
In the
you,
finals.
yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have that other race in probably a minute. I'm gonna drop the call right now.
Alright.
Thank you so much. We're gonna start this actually really quickly with 4 people, super fast. They're just waiting for the runners to ready up really, and then we will get started here. Oh, important actually. I still don't know if semifinals is one word or two. In your quarterfinals, I know for sure it'll be right in the finals. I know that one is going to be correct, but all the other ones, who knows? You know. But I'm not. This isn't a spelling tournament. This ain't a spelling bee. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna wait for all of the other runners here to get ready. Finals, yes, true. What? I've never heard this song before. What is this? Oh, Slay the Spire. Hey, I've heard this. Any Slay the Spires? Slayers in the chat? Spirers? Looks like we are just waiting on Zytho. So whenever Zytho's ready. But I got ready really quick. So, Zytho is grabbing a quick snack. We don't mind at all. We're just talking about Slay the Spire. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for the raid, Chat X. Slay the Spire is great. Yeah, I need to play more of it. Not a huge, like, roguelike person, but Slay the Spire is definitely a cool one. We have in the racing chat an accusation of Zytho about to take Meat Boy roids, potential performance enhancing substances. We're gonna have to see how that works out, but who knows? Larry RNG pills, yeah. Let's do something fun really quick. Let's start. All right, let's go. We're going to do a prediction. Whose Vorpal is on so much coffee? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, this one is perhaps moving a bit fast. I just wanted it to be a single day. It's difficult to have people really have time to do a multiple day tournament. You know, so a single day at 3 hours is mostly doable by people. So definitely thinking about doing this again in the near future. I'm thinking next time possibly to have like a randomizer tournament type thing. I imagine that there would be fewer runners there since it's you know, not as many people do, but maybe sometime in July or August let's do a randomizer tournament. That's a very fun and easy way to do it. My recommendation on how to practice for randomizer is to play the best category, and that is of course all dark levels. All dark levels, the great category. Some big money in for Zytho, some big money in for Vorpal. Legalized betting right now happening in the tournament. If I could put money in, I'd put it in for Squeeze. I think Squeeze has been playing well. 90%, that's true. Okay, Zytho is just about ready. All right, we are ready. Let's go to the race room and see. Yeah, Zytho readied up, so we're gonna be going in about 15 seconds here. All right, good luck to all the runners. This is gonna be a fun one. I can already tell. Man, oh man. It looks like my timer's going to be about a second behind, but that's fine. We're just doing it for... Actually, it might be closer than... it's pretty good with the stream lag, so we're set up pretty well. Let's go, Pepsi. Let's go. Let's go, Squeeze fan. Let's go. If I purchase ad time now, no. You know what? If I was a good streamer, I'd be putting on ads, but maybe I'm actually a better streamer because I'm not putting on ads. Is something else to consider. I don't know. That's for you to decide. Right now, all the run. Oh, Vorpal there with a big mistake, losing a half second there. That's going to allow Killing Pepsi to catch up with that half second. Oh, the sync right now. Oh, but Vorpal with a slightly faster pause. Oh no, Killing Pepsi goes slightly over Bandage Girl. That's going to allow Squeeze to catch up for second place. Ooh, Zytho actually. Zytho is an interesting tournament right now, because I'm sure that Zytho wishes that he was playing a little bit better. But I mean, you just saw that 116 was great. It's just all about playing a little bit more consistent. The stuff that he's doing well, he's doing fantastic on. So, you know, there's no counting him out of anything. But he also has... Oh, I am realizing right now that we didn't get this on there. We needed Meat Boy sounds. The indie game music was just so nice. Thank you for putting that out. Professional, by the way. All right, so we got Vorpal, Vorpal out first, then Squeeze, then Pepsi, then Zytho, all within about 4 seconds of each other. Nothing really that we can take from that one. I think that Squeeze is probably going to be happy as well. It seemed like in practice, Squeeze was... it's very difficult to consistently get sort of sub 20s, and Squeeze was getting a lot of good paces, but I also think that Squeeze has a little bit of a worry about playing consistently, but I think Squeeze is probably playing as well as you would probably expect him to play. And so setting himself up to just be in the finals is, I think, really exciting. Right there, who knows? Vorpal with about a half of a level lead or so. Really a 2-9 sized lead over the other runners, with Squeeze playing really well in second place. You know, these are the ones where when you can cut a lead out of Hospital, because I would say that, you know, Forest, you're probably, when you're playing well, you're going to be within a second every single time. In a race, maybe it's like 3 or 4 seconds. Hospital is close to the same thing. There's a higher probability that you're going to have a little bit of a mistake. But, you know, really going through Hospital, if you can have like a 4 or 5 second lead out of Hospital, that's huge, because that gives you a mistake or two to have on Hell or Rapture, where, you know, in a race environment, you're almost guaranteed to have that. Very unlikely that you're going to end up having that perfect race. As Vorpal finishing off, going into Chad right now. Pepsi is not super far behind. Squeeze looks like messed up the 217. Oh no, Pepsi with a big death. That is very important for the reasons I was just describing. You know, gonna be about, looks like 6 or 7 seconds now behind Squeeze for second place to move on to the finals. Very big death there. Yeah, Zytho as well. I think both Pepsi and Zytho are going to be a bit disappointed with this, to say the least. But Pepsi rounding it out, Zytho ending it up. But yeah, as Metalom was saying in the chat, the lead right now is nothing compared to, I mean, we've seen multiple times runners have these minute or 2 long Larrys, so it's nothing to that. Having a 10, even 20, even 30 second lead is nothing in any percent. You are going to have some issues with Larry, in all likelihood. Even though your median Larry is going to be a 5 cycle, it's not unlikely that you get your average I think is like a 6 or a 7. And it's not super unlikely to see a 10. And a 10 cycle is losing something like 40 seconds. Vorpal is just cruising here, and Squeeze is just cruising as well. Squeeze not getting the skip, then this might allow Pepsi to get a little bit of time here. Pepsi not going for the skip either. I don't know if he goes for the skip all the time. Squeeze basically 8 seconds behind Vorpal right now. And then Pepsi right now playing a little bit slower than Zytho. I mean, that's really going to be Zytho's big thing if Zytho's going to come back on this, is that he just plays through levels quickly, and so Pepsi is going to have to know that and really just play consistently through this. Oh no. And so Pepsi now going to go into last place there after that death. Squeeze and Vorpal just doing their thing. Love to see it. Oh no, you do not want to have that mistake on 317. But he ends up being fine. Those 317 deaths, you just get a little hop and that can kill you. And that can end up being like a 6 or 7 second death. And not much you can really do there. Squeeze not doing... I think he was a bit slow on the setup, so not doing mono skip, so that loses him a bit of time. Pepsi largely able to even come back because of that a little bit. As Zytho is in second place right now as well. So with Squeeze and Pepsi having some issues, Zytho clawing his way back. Hell is really where these races get started. But Vorpal just playing fast and consistent right now, going into 4-3. Zytho entering Hell. Squeeze and Pepsi not far behind. Vorpal getting mono hex skip. It'll be interesting to see who exactly is going to be getting or going for hex skip, and Zytho went for it, misses it. Pepsi and Squeeze, I know, like for sure, not going for it. Yeah, Zytho just playing it safe. So that hex really does bring them all within very close proximity of each other for second place. You know, Vorpal with a somewhat commanding lead right now, but, you know, it doesn't mean much until you get past Larry. With Zytho, just a small lead on second place there. Squeeze and Pepsi, really non-discernible amount of lead just because of stream lag. It's really interesting to see is because Zytho right now, like Zytho, I've said this like 5 times already, but it's just about consistency, and this is probably one of the more, this is a very consistent Hell that we're seeing right now. I know that he had a death on Hex. Oh, and is not getting that strat. Just not able to get the insta-stop. But I say that, and then, you know, I jinx the commentator's curse. That's going to allow Pepsi and Squeeze to get a little bit more time on this. It looks like Squeeze just playing a little bit faster, with the difference in PB, sort of what you would expect. Ooh, big death there for Vorpal on. Oh, another death. And that's going to allow Zytho to just get a little bit closer, and all of our runners really just a little bit closer there. So unfortunate 2-3 deaths on 417 by Vorpal, and Zytho is now just one level behind. So, you know, it looked like Vorpal had, again, that somewhat commanding lead. Now it's just the normal lead. But it's exactly why you want to play well early on. Yeah, this is going to probably come down to Larry. I mean, what we've seen right now from Squeeze and Pepsi has been good raptures all the way through. Zytho, on the other hand, there has been a bit of up and down, but I just trust with how fast Zytho can play, especially compared to these other runners. It doesn't scare me all that much that Zytho's on the same pace. If I was Squeeze and Pepsi, I would want to be ahead. Not roughly on the same pace. So we're gonna see how it happens as Zytho, second one to get through. How consistent is the Larry manip at the beginning? I'll go over Larry a little bit later on this, just to give a little bit of a heads up on how exactly the RNG works. But just doing the pause strat doesn't guarantee you that you'll even get the setup correctly, because there's RNG on when Larry pops up. But we'll get into that later. Of course, Squeeze goes into 5-2, so while it looks like he's on the same level as Vorpal, is actually a little bit behind as they're doing different routes. We're going to line ourselves back up at 5-9, just a reminder. But despite it being slower, again, I think that that's a good idea for Squeeze and for any runner to really go for 5-1. Unless you're really going for, like, at this point, a top 3-4 time, you should probably just do what you're more comfortable with. And 5-1's not the most difficult level in the world, but, you know. All right. Interesting to see that Squeeze is roughly keeping up with Vorpal, maybe losing a couple tenths of seconds as he's going across this. Vorpal just being a little bit cleaner in terms of movement. Same thing really about this. Uh-oh. Squeeze got a slide after pressing the button there on 5-7, which doesn't lose time, but it does like really mess up your setup. But he was able to adjust really quickly, and luckily it didn't lose him any time. So, okay, what we're seeing right now is actually Squeeze is going to end up being in 4th place with a really interesting race for 2nd place with Pepsi and Zytho. But at the same time, again, Vorpal like is 1 level ahead. I think that translates to about 10 seconds. Oh, he had trouble on this last time as well. It's just having some trouble with 5-11. Oh no, and Pepsi taking a death on 5-10. And so that's going to let Zytho get back into 2nd place, as Squeeze and Pepsi are basically on the same pace, trailing behind. Squeeze getting Fim Skip. So that allows a little bit of time save going into Pepsi. So Vorpal with a bit of an adjustment there midair. I think he thought that he over jumped it, but it actually looks like he was fine. And so instead of going for something like an auto jump, decided to do a midair. That could have cost him a bit. And so there's a death. Not a good rapture right now for Vorpal. And that's letting Zytho basically catch back up to him. We have about a 3-second lead, I believe. Uh-oh. Talk more about a 1.5 second lead to Zytho. The entire lead that Vorpal had going into Hell is basically gone at this point. Zytho not getting through, so Pepsi might be able to get through and essentially get to 2nd place. This is all going to be Larry. There is no way of one knowing what the stream delay is for any of these runners. But they're all essentially the same pace. This is going to be Larry as the decider of who's moving on, essentially. I don't think any of these runners are going to necessarily be super happy with their runs so far. I mean, maybe Pepsi and Squeeze going in here. Not good RNG for Vorpal. Good RNG to start out for Zytho. Ooh, it looked like maybe that was going to be 2-cycle. Squeeze right there, getting his 2nd to jump. They all have 1 more to go. Killing Pepsi and Zytho are the first 2 out of there. Vorpal with terrible RNG right now. Oh no. Squeeze with bad RNG. This is not what you want to see. They basically have a 25% chance, and Vorpal's the last one out of here. You really do hate to see it. Just bad RNG. Squeeze not out of this. Vorpal even not out of this. Uh-oh. Pepsi, because Pepsi's having some trouble there, but does get out of 6-1 with a 14. About a 6-second time loss there, but not a big deal. But, you know, that's going to allow Squeeze to come back. We just need Pepsi to have a bit of consistency on here, and it looks like Pepsi might be a little bit nervous. I don't know if Pepsi knows that I think Pepsi does know that he needs to play well to move on. I don't know if he knows that he is right now in 2nd place, but I think that he knows. And then again, folks, with stream delay, you never know. Maybe Squeeze has a little bit more delay and is actually closer to Pepsi. We don't know for sure. So just got to keep it up. Zytho playing well, not too far ahead. Vorpal has just been having some trouble. This is, I think, he had a great start, and I think I cursed him by saying that he had a demanding lead on that one. Do I know the control devices? Controller for Zytho. I believe it's all controller, actually. So this proving once and for all that controller is the dominant control method, which is crazy. But Zytho might use keyboard, but I believe he's an analog stick runner. So Pepsi and Zytho basically neck and neck here, looking at first place. Squeeze is not far behind, but it looks like Zytho and Pepsi, as long as they don't have a death on this. I think one thing that this is a fairly straightforward level, Dr. Fetus, but when you are nervous, oh man, every single jump is terrifying. And I think you can sort of see that in the jumps from Pepsi a little bit. Okay, it looks like they're fine. But even Escape, you know, the very end of Escape is kind of scary. And this being the semifinals, you know, I don't know if these runners know where their opponents are, so they might go for a leap of faith that they're not as comfortable with. You know, with Zytho and Vorpal right there almost taking a death. He should be fine to get over it. Yeah, he'll be fine. So Zytho first one into Escape, Pepsi not far behind. As long as they get through this cleanly, it should be them in the finals. Yep, good leap of faith by Zytho. Pepsi taking it a bit safe. Well, I mean, that's just his normal strat. Squeeze not far behind. So we are going to see Zytho with an 1854. Pepsi with an 1856. Folks, Pepsi did not have an 18 before this tournament started. That's the second in a row to make the finals. Squeeze is going to get a 1910, which is a really great time. Vorpal here looking like it's going to be like a 1920, 1930 sort of time. Vorpal taking leap of faith and getting a 1929. So GG's to the runners. Man, was that. I did not expect that. Ooh. Vorpal getting knocked out. Squeeze getting knocked out despite sub 1930s. Congrats. Pepsi did not when it was Zytho by it was Zytho by 2 seconds. Here, give me 1 second, folks, as we. There's our results. And then let's do something really quick. And we'll see if either of the runners want a raid or an interview, not a raid. We'll see what they say. No response so far, but we have Killing Pepsi. Okay, I'm gonna Squeeze says yes. I'm gonna start the call on him. He might be a second for this. As we're gonna set up for Dr. Zytho and Killing Pepsi. And we got Squeeze fan here. Hello.
Hello.
Let me bump up your volume really quick.
Hang
okay.
on, 1 sec. You might have echo because I don't have the right thing plugged in like a pro. Sorry, 1 second.
I think you're fine. Well, unless it's not fine for you. It's fine here.
It's fine for me, as long as it's fine your end.
Yeah, it's fine on my end as well. So, how did you feel after that? What was, I guess, going into the tournament, what was your expectations?
Well, I really wanted top 4. I mean, looking at all the runners, I was like, man, these guys are all crazy. So top 4 would be awesome. So I would have settled with top 8, but I'm really glad my mic was muted, man, because when I got that 1850 to get top 4, I was screaming. It was awesome.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, how were your runs through this? I think that they were mostly really good, right? I think maybe early on it wasn't as great.
It felt pretty consistent, to be honest. A lot of like weird, silly deaths I'll put down to tournament nerves, like just random deaths, but overall pretty good. I think on the third and the fourth, like, I had really good salt factories. I was like -5 into hell on one of the runs, which was like really hype, but then I kind of got nervous going into Rapture. But I wish Larry had just been a bit nicer. I think I had one run under an 8 cycle. I'd have to watch it back. It felt a bit harsh, but you know,
Oh.
Larry is love, Larry is life.
Yeah, that is rough. And I do think that, because I believe you went into Larry the same time as killing Pepsi. And so that does really end up being sort of the determiner on this one. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about tournament, right? It's like, it doesn't matter how far behind you are, you could always maybe sneak in. Because I was thinking, don't want to go for any crazy strats, like, not super slow strats, but just take it nice and easy. And because let's be honest, I'm never beating people like Vorpal or Galaxy when they're playing super good. So the best I can do is just be consistent and hope for good Larry luck.
yeah, and that's a smart strategy, and it seems to have worked out really. I mean, a 1910 to get knocked out is really difficult. You know, it's
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say I proper messed up mono on that. I didn't get it, and I was like, it's okay, I'll just ride the platform over. And then I like late inputted, so just ran straight into the death zone, and I was like, oh man, that's like 15 seconds. Crap.
Yeah, it's rough, and that is what it ended up being on this one, where it was whoever, and that, I mean, that's a race, but whoever ended up being the most consistent was who ended up moving on. So I mean, getting into top 4 I think was a great accomplishment, really close to the finals as well. So hopefully to see you there next time. Do you have any last things to say?
Shout outs to Owning Death. I didn't do Hex, sorry.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. Let's get Vorpal in here as well. Vorpal really good, really, except for the last race. Vorpal, how are you feeling after this tournament? How do you feel you did?
So I think Larry has just been storing all the bad luck, waiting for the right moment.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, because I mean, your Hell and Rapture were not great, but you were fine. You were doing well. And then that Larry, man, was that more than a minute? Was it like 90 seconds?
It was at least a music loop.
Oh man. Yeah, just that's unfortunate. But I think all of your other races in general were pretty good. Did you get good RNG? It sounds like all of the other races.
Pretty much. I think the worst and the rest were like 6 or 7 cycle, which
Yeah.
isn't bad at all.
You had that 1806, or what was it on your end? Because this is probably like 2 seconds later, or 2 seconds late. How were you feeling on that one? In the quarterfinals, I think it was.
That one was kind of exasperating because why did I get... First, it was like, why did I get a 2 cycle on this run? Second, it's okay, why did I make one more mistake in the end and cost myself the 17?
Yeah, that's always frustrating as well. Because 17s, it doesn't matter like how consistent you are. 17s is a bit of RNG just to get them. So getting a 17 always feels like an accomplishment, even if, you know, your PB is like a, 17, 20, 30, whatever it is. So a bit unfortunate, but yeah, I think no surprise seeing you in the quarterfinals. A bit of a surprise seeing you get knocked out, but
If it happens.
yep, absolutely. Oh, it looks like my thing got messed up here, which is fine. Let me move over into this.
Okay, I'm just glad I get to watch the finals.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that's going to be a lot less stress than participating. I think the other ones, the last couple ones, because I know like 2 tournaments before, it was you and I in the finals. I remember Jankmo and Galaxy were like neck and neck in the last couple rounds. Yeah, were you in the finals last time? I don't remember that one as well.
I don't think I was playing.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, I think it was work or something.
I'm with you. Okay, well, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Why is this still messing up on my stream? There we go. Thank you. Any final words that you want to say?
I think I'm good. I just want to relax, take it easy.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show. So.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun finals. Thanks for the interview. And we are, let me get the race started. Yeah, GG's to everybody who's part of this as well. Let's go any percent, start race. Pop this in there. And thanks to everybody who's tuned in, everybody who's participated. Really appreciate the support as we're going to have one final race here. Killing Pepsi versus Zytho. Oh, I need to do one last thing on this stream. Can't both runners win? I mean, I think that we're not super sure. Oh, whoa, hold up. I need to do this. I always forget that I need to participate. That way it doesn't join before I'm ready. I think that we can all agree. Yeah, we're getting a prediction in here. I think we can all agree. Killing Pepsi making it to the finals. Man, oh man. As we got Zytho. I want to double check this. Yes, I don't want to screw anyone out of their channel points. Let's get a prediction. All right. We are almost ready to go here. Zytho 17. Yeah, I mean, Zytho is playing well enough. It's just all about that consistency. And Meat Boy, or not Meat Boy, Killing Pepsi has been playing out of their mind. Came into this tournament 0 sub 8 or sub 19s. We had 2 already. Who knows what we'll see? Hopefully even more excitement. Let's see how these runners are doing. They're ready to go. Let's make sure that we got sound on there. Let's see. We got a minute to go in that prediction, so let's see. We got a lot of money on Pepsi right now, and you really do love to see that. He's starting a streak, an 18 streak. That's true. The last tournament, Jankmo went absolutely wild with getting 18s, a bunch of sub 18s as well. The difference between even like an 1850 and an 1810 is difficult to explain. Actually, it's like 40 seconds, I think, if my math is fine. But it just requires an insane amount of consistency. So it looks like both of the runners are, I mean, they're ready up, and or no, Zytho's not ready. We'll be waiting just a minute or whenever Zytho readies up, and then we'll get started here. Larry different again. The Larrys will always be different. Larry could play a major factor in here, and I don't think anyone would be shocked. Okay, it looks like Zytho's ready, and so I am going to let the runners do their thing. All right, folks, this is it. The June 2023 Any Percent Tournament Finals. We're going to get started in just one moment. Let's go. And they are off. You know, more than anything, I'll keep saying it. You're not going to see anybody, most likely, you're not going to see these runners get a big difference in times here. You know, Zytho is going to be a bit of the faster runner, so anticipate Zytho having a bit of a lead if he doesn't make mistakes. But, that's not going to be too big of a deal at the end of the day. Really, what's going to take care of, like we just saw there, Pepsi maintaining within a close amount of space between Zytho just by consistency. First exit, we see about a second lead from Zytho. Oh no, Zytho with a bit of an early auto jump there, and so that's going to give Pepsi now about a 1 second lead going into. Let's make sure that 1 second lead going into Little Slugger. So. Yeah, Zytho really has sort of been the story of this tournament so far. He's playing really well. It's just about, not making the mistakes that hurt you. And so far, there hasn't been too much of an issue in terms of, knocking him out. Obviously, he's here in the finals, but Zytho. Let's see. Yeah, his first ones, he got, mid-19s, even a 20 on one of these races. It wasn't these last two where he's getting 1847 and 1854, which are times that, going into this tournament, you wouldn't think that Pepsi would be able to keep up with, but Pepsi today has been on a roll. 1856 last round, 1852 being their PB. 1851 actually is the official time from them, so that's what their PB is going to be. And even winning that first race with a 1915 as well, which was a couple seconds off of their PB. So I think today is Pepsi's day in terms of doing everything he needed to be in the finals, and this is what we're seeing right now in Hospital, is just staying consistent. I think Zytho right now, again, it's just the faster runner of these two on a level by level basis. So you're going to see Zytho catch up and potentially take a lead here, but I wouldn't worry too much about that if I'm Pepsi or rooting for Pepsi. Zytho here is gonna take a slight lead. It's really just going to be all about consistency. Pepsi once again picking up the lead. Zytho with a little bit of sloppiness. Oh no, Pepsi overshooting that one. That can happen sometimes. It also looked like he missed the ability to do a storage jump, which is a big time loss actually. Zytho potentially by nerves. Yeah, has Zytho been in any of these other like relays or tournaments before? My memory says no. Yeah, no. So this is his first tournament that he has been in for the community. So, yeah, nerves playing a big factor is not surprising. Pepsi, a veteran to these, has been doing these tournaments for years. In terms of an actual tournament, though, this is the first time Pepsi's in the finals. So I'm sure there's nerves on both ends, but yeah, Zytho probably a 3-second lead, maybe a little bit less than that. Zytho's improvement rate has been bonkers. Yeah, Zytho, again, paying attention to him for a bit, it was like, oh wow, yeah, he's putting together some really interesting ILs. And it's difficult to know when someone's putting together some really crazy ILs, what they're going to do in terms of any percent, because doing ILs and doing any percent really is not necessarily the best crossover, because any percent, you have a 5-second death, and that's actually like sort of a big deal. But Zytho has that sort of IL mentality on almost every single level, of the run. And, you know, he got that 1847 recently. And, you know, as long as if he wants to keep playing on that, he can keep going. He has the strats to get, you know, even world record on that one. Just a matter of consistency. And with Pepsi, has been there for years. It really seems like Pepsi, they mostly come back when it's like a tournament. Oh, Zaito having some trouble with this. It looks like he finally got that set up. Oh, ooh, no, I don't think Pepsi got that. Yeah, so he'll pull back. Uh-oh, a little bit of trouble going back. He could have saved a bit of time there, but Pepsi did not really, it doesn't look like. Zaito with a little bit of a sloppy Salt Factory so far. But Pepsi not necessarily able to capitalize on it. So really we're just keeping in on this sort of 3-second lead. Yeah, as Back said in chat, you just have to stay within Larry range. We saw with Vorpal, he came into Larry up like 15 seconds or so. And it did not end up mattering at all. Zaito was practicing this level earlier. It looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with 315. Zaito right now, clean. This is one of, I think, of his cleaner races. It is easy to stay clean in the first 3 chapters. It's really hell and rapture when you really get to these sort of scary levels where it's more likely that you're going to make mistakes. So Pepsi is exactly where they need to be. Ooh, there's Zaito with the death. Yeah, so Pepsi, well, let's see what happens here on Brownie Skip. Yep, a little bit of a mistake. Uh-oh, he's just a little bit early right now. Yeah, you want that blood trail to be a little bit after being underneath that window. And so Zaito's going to be able to come back. You know, if you're Pepsi, you don't want to be leaving off seconds like that with somebody like Zaito. But if you're Pepsi and you're saying that you're, you know, 2 or 3 seconds behind going into hell, I think that you'd be happy. Really I think one of the first major hiccups that we see is that lost in about 5 seconds. Ooh, oh man, Zaito almost saving it. Zaito's setup. Zaito, I think, was going for a setup for a hop that he just is not getting there. And so that when he misses it can potentially be in a very weird location. And just unfortunate for him on that one. Oh yeah, Zaito just going really quick, really fast on the strat. He's really fast. So, oh, there we go. And there's Ricketts. That's a huge Ricketts. That's going to save a ton of time. That's like 2-3 seconds over Pepsi. And so now we see this, what was like a 4-second lead is down to basically a half second. You know, this race is really anyone's game. You know, there's Pepsi going slow and steady. You know, I think that if you're seeing this and it's another type of runner going in there and you're seeing that, you might be a little bit questioning that. But I do think that that's how Pepsi wins this, is just limiting mistakes and just going and doing things that you're comfortable with. Zaito might have messed up the beginning there, but doesn't go for the eyeball skip on Big Brother. Oh, and there's another death that's going to put Pepsi in the lead for a bit. There's no real major skips that I think Zaito can really take the lead with if Pepsi plays consistently. Oh, well, there's a mistake there. Yeah, Pepsi just playing really well. I don't know if Pepsi has died yet, and if he has, it's been really small deaths. Zaito the 4 or 5 deaths have really been the name of the game. As you're playing through and you're just doing a run, you know, even when you're playing very consistently, you can expect 6, 7, 8 deaths as you're going through a run. So it's not like Zytho is really playing particularly poorly in terms of what you might expect from a no reset run, but you know, the deaths add up. Is Zytho even French? I don't know. You know what I mean? He's some sort of European. Probably. The French flag next to his name on the leaderboard, right? Your flag on speedrun.com that means something. The people that say they're from Antarctica, that's where they're from. You cannot lie on speedrun.com. And so Pepsi, we're gonna go into Rapture. Good. I think that that was a good hell by Pepsi there. He's actually roughly on the same pace that he had on his PB. So killing Pepsi might be on PB pace yet again. Of course, you can't really say that you're on PB pace until Larry. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, you can, but you know, you shouldn't count on the idea of a PB until after Larry, which is just kind of silly considering that's like 90% of the run is everything before end. But no, a death by Pepsi, and that's going to put Zytho back in the lead, even with a death on 5-1. Zytho with a big one, so that's a huge death. Right at the end, that's about an 11-second time loss. And so if Zytho can stay clean here, that could push him ahead, because Zytho's strats in this are also going to be much faster. If you're going to anticipate an area of this run where Zytho is able to really save time over Pepsi, it's going to be this one. For example, this level right here, you would expect Zytho is going to be able to at least go for, oh, maybe not, a cycle skip. Yeah, definitely not, actually, which is good news for Pepsi. No cycle skip for Zytho. I feel like Pepsi needs a lead out of Larry. It at least needs to be within a few seconds, for sure. I don't think that you can count on getting a death. When you're getting PBs, you're probably going to be one of the more consistent runners at the end. So, you know, Zytho with a PB recently, I would be a bit surprised if, ooh, there's a big death to get Pepsi really right at the same pace. Pepsi right now technically ahead, but not past the level yet. Yeah, Pepsi with about a 1 second lead. Ooh, messed up the beginning of this. This is technically a cycle-based level, so it might not matter. Yeah, loses probably about a 1/4 second there. Let's see if Pepsi can get this skip to stay ahead. Oh no, he's not going to go for the full skip like Zytho. So Zytho is going to take back the lead going into this. Both of them auto-jumping for safety. Pepsi hits the backside of the block, so that's going to lose him a bit of time. So now we're about a 1.5 lead for Zytho. Pepsi bleeding a little bit more time than you would probably want for this. You know, again, you can't expect Pepsi to stay beat for beat, but uh-oh. Good save by Zytho, but that's going to bring Pepsi back within a 1/2 second. Let's see if he can rocket carry. Oh, Zytho not able to rocket carry. Actually is going to lose a rocket cycle. So Pepsi back in the lead. We have had so many lead changes here, folks. No, but a huge death by Pepsi. That's like a 14-second time loss. That is, oh no, folks. That is the exact death you do not want to see. This is going to be huge. So Zytho could, with good RNG, could essentially seal this. Pepsi playing the rocket there a little bit safer. Let's see, 2 on the first cycle. There we go. And that's a 2 cycle, folks. It's not looking good for Pepsi right now. Zytho is going into this final round, going to this final chapter of the grand finals with a 2 cycle. It's going to be difficult for Pepsi, but it's been sort of a Cinderella story for Pepsi to even get here, so who knows what will happen. There's been some inconsistency from Zytho, so who knows. Just the death on 6-2 at the end. You know, Zytho goes for a really aggressive climb. That could bring Pepsi back. But we're just going to have to see what happens here. Not great RNG, so Pepsi finally out of there. This is probably about 35 seconds back of Zytho. Zytho with a clean climb there on 6-2 to get us, what was that, like a 20.6? Anything sub 21 on 6-2 is just beautiful. Ooh, almost a death there. Zytho getting through 6-3 cleanly. And let's see, Zytho is going for fast 6-4. Let's see if he can get ahead of the cycle. He does. No, and there's a big death. That's going to bring, that's going to bring Pepsi maybe half of that lead. That was about a 12 second. And so we said it was about 35 seconds. So there's another 8 seconds, folks. So, you know, we are probably about 15 or 16 seconds away. That could be a death on Fetus. That could be a death on, that's another one right there. So we are probably about 6 or 7 seconds away. Just a disaster of a 6-4, folks. And we still have key skip to go on Omega. Omega is by no means a free level or an easy level. Let's see how this goes. Zytho messes up. He goes for a 6-tile jump there, which is going to lose him some time. Pepsi probably about 3 seconds behind now. Let's see. He's going to get that. Zytho goes for a bit of an aggressive one. No, he's going to set up right there, and he's going to auto jump. So he's going to get that cleanly. Let's see if he can get this through this final room. He does as Pepsi takes a death. So Pepsi right now would have to really hope for a death from Zytho in order to get this, as Zytho is really on about 19 1x pace. Pepsi really with 2 deaths that really just cost them this this run. And it's not like Zytho didn't have some deaths. That 6-4 could have easily cost them. Especially on 6-4 with nerves is a difficult one, because there's, even when you get past the so difficult parts of that, you know, he got through that skip of those 2 saw cycles going together. You still have some places where it's really straightforward and easy to die. It's a precise strat all the way through. So Pepsi here, it is possible for Pepsi to win, but Zytho would really have to, you know, leap of faith is not easy by any means. Pepsi had a really good run going into 5:17. I would not be surprised if he was, a slide there for Zytho. You do not want to see that. It might even be a little bit faster to get that slide, but you do not want it. You don't want it. And that was really risky by Zytho. And then we're going to see him win with about a 19-10 and 19-11. GG to Zytho is going to be the winner of our any percent tournament. That was incredible. You'd love to see that. Let's see what the racetime.gg time was. As Pepsi does a 19:15. Pepsi is going to finish up, it looks like, with about a 19:50 or so. Man, oh man. What an exciting race that was. I don't think you could have asked for a better finale than that. Pepsi with a 19:56 or so on that one, which is anything sub 20 is going to be really good. That was really exciting. Let's see if these runners want an interview. Let's see Pepsi first. And then after that, we'll see if Zytho wants in as well, being the winner, of course. Holy moly. Holy guacamole, even. Folks, I did not anticipate that. 7 deaths from killing Pepsi. Like 3 or 4 of those were at the end. All right, we got Pepsi here. We got Pepsi here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you feeling? I think I can safely say I don't think you're anticipating making the finals. Is that correct?
I didn't think I'd make it to top 4, to be real honest.
Yeah, so how are you feeling with all of that considered?
Feeling all right.
Yeah. Congrats
I
on.
looked at the list.
Yeah, you had. Was it just 2 or was it 3 races where you got better than your PB coming into it?
Just 2. The 1912 was 0.3 off my PB.
That's crazy. That's crazy. What? Take me through your morning. What did you have? What did you have for breakfast to be able to play this well today?
All right. I had 2 pieces of toasted cinnamon raisin toast. Not just raisin toast, not cinnamon raisin, with cream cheese and salami on top.
Wait, so hold up.
Good.
Is salami with raisin bread good?
Any bread with cream cheese and then like some cold cuts is like surprisingly good.
Okay.
Honestly, didn't expect it, but it's a goat combo.
Gotcha. I didn't expect the salami on there. The other things makes a lot of sense to me, but I'm thinking the salami is what brought that over the edge. Is the raisin bread with the salami? It's got to be it. What do you think overall? What was your mentality, I guess, going into this?
I first started the resting this week. I was trying to I reworked like 20 levels to try to make everything as consistent as possible. I was like, all right, at best, if I play Deathless, I can get like a high 1830 something. That's good. That's what I'll shoot for. I looked at the list of people competing, and I was like, even if like 6 of those people get like a minute behind their PB, I still can't beat them. So if they play their best, even if I play my best. But like this morning, I thought like, okay, top 8, that's good. That's fine. If I get like a bunch of 19s, very happy. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and I mean, you basically did. I think my stream is messed up. Give me 1 second. I mean, it's like half messed up. There we go. 1 second. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So, how happy are you? Are you gonna keep playing with this now that you got a couple PBs, and you were probably on PB pace on that last run, were you not?
Yes. I don't think I do have the splits open. Let me compare. I was -8 into Rapture, and then I lost 20 seconds on 517. Then Larry was nice. I got good Larrys most of the day. He gave me like a 4 or 5 cycle this run. So like I could have worked with that if I didn't die a bunch. But like 2 golds this run, like it's going in pretty well. But
yeah, you are legitimately just like a few strats, or maybe even just a little bit of a grind away from like a sub 1830 or so. You have the consistency for sure. But yeah, it was really exciting. Okay, any last words?
Yeah, I got a shout out from Shadex. I'm gonna shout out back to Shadex for being the GOAT. Most of my strats that I use are from watching him stream like in 2017, 2018. So shout outs to them.
Hell yeah, well, thank you so much. And thanks for the interview. Thanks for participating. Let's get Zytho in here as well. The 2023 June Any Percent Tournament champion. So let's see when he pops in here. Zytho, hello. Congratulations on winning the tournament.
Thank you. Is my mic fine-ish?
I think you're good. Your mic's a bit quiet, but I boosted you,
Okay.
so you should be good. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Real
cool.
well.
I think that it's safe to say that, I mean, it's probably not, you were probably going for winning this tournament coming in, considering you just had a big PB. Is that safe to say?
I wasn't too sure actually. Like, my goal mainly was top 4, and then I was like, everything can happen. Like, I pretty much had an idea of who would be top 4, and yeah, then the races were open. I felt like.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It seemed like on this one, you were, I guess, how do you feel about your consistency right now?
So, to be fair, today was really a day like I would have just say good night and stop the stream. You know, it was a normal Wednesday. Like,
For sure.
I felt terrible. So yeah, at least I had Hex and Ricketts on the last race.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I had a really bad death on 4-3, and also I saw that I didn't have that much of a lead after Brownie. It was pretty much tied, I think. So I felt like that death was very costly, so I went for kind of riskier strats.
Yeah, absolutely. That race was like going into, it was 5-17. It was basically neck and neck. Pepsi with a little bit of a lead. He had a big death, and then you, actually 2 big deaths. You had like a 30-second lead after Larry, and then 6-4 was a bit of a, I know how that can be. You mess up on that level one time, and then your confidence is shot, and then it's just a difficult level.
Yeah, I was kind of in the middle of, like, I know I'm consistent on the fast cycle, but I didn't really need it. I think I kind of had the stream on the side to check the paces.
Sure.
So I knew I had a decent lead, so I just didn't know what strat to go for. Then I was in the middle and just played bad.
Yeah, it's tough to
So
know,
that
especially when you're like
happens.
second guessing things that can end up actually being
Yeah.
worse than just going for the harder thing. Is
Exactly.
second
You
guessing.
don't have time to second guess yourself.
Yep, absolutely. Well, congratulations. Any final words or final thoughts?
Did someone see what happened on 511? Like, I felt that an bomb just bounced off the ground or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't. It's tough to know, especially with sometimes I'd be watching yours intently and sometimes Pepsi, so I didn't see everything
Oh, yeah.
exactly. There's a bunch of levels with where I was just like, ooh.
That was super weird.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you so much. And thanks everybody for watching. We're gonna give a raid over here to Teddy. Teddy is doing a readathon. He's reading books inside of video games. So if you like hearing people read, this is going to be the stream for you. Make sure to follow the runners, follow Dr. Zytho, follow Killing Pepsi, Vorpal, everybody who was there. Follow this channel as well. And thank you just so much for being here. Did I do this wrong? I did do it wrong. There we go. Anyways, yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Oh no, I did it right before. Anyways, adios.
I'm reading apparently, I think, an obituary or some shit for someone from Germany or some shit from ages ago. Speaking truly of all the forms in general of beauty. Also, I was